What's going on, guys? Tyler Martin here, comic book writer, creator, publisher, and founder of Godhood Comics. Now, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. This camera quality is so bad because we're having to use the camera quality on the laptop, which is pissing me off. And you know it's pissing me off, but that's fine. I'm working on it behind the scenes right now. And pretty much what we're going to be talking about today is how to make your own comic books. So if you're interested in making your own comic books and how that looks, this is going to be the video for you or the stream for you. I'm waiting for my class to get in. We've got 3 members of my class right now. There should be about 8 more coming. So what's up, forever? So we're going to kind of delve into script writing, your script, outlining. We're actually going to write a live script today. We're going to talk about character development, things like that. And again, super excited. Bear with me because I am trying to get this camera situated so you guys can see my beautiful face better than what we've got going on right now. Shout out to Fred Littles of Wise Acre Comics. Fred, let me know if you're still here later on when we get started. Would love for you to come in here and talk when we hit our peak. All right, guys. I'm going to start adding my class. Now, these guys are essentially what we like to call our first class here at Godhood Comics, as we reestablished our comic book creator courses, or our schoolhouse initiative, which is going to be about teaching comic book creators how to make their own comics, but not just how to make your own comics, guys. You guys know we talked about the difference between a comic creator and a comicpreneur. And you guys know I'm a comicpreneur, meaning I make comics to make a living, to make a profit. And so that's something else. It's one thing to teach you how to make comic books. It's another thing to teach you how to sell comic books and essentially make a profit from them. Okay. So I'm going to start adding my students in. Still trying to get this camera situated. So bear with me, guys. Any questions, put them in the chat. We got 28 people here. Share and like the live. Let's get to our last stream where we had about 150, 200 people in here. Share, like, comment, and let's get it started. First, we are going to share our screen, kind of talk about Godhood Comics, who we are, who we want to be, and how you can help us. And then we'll get into the lesson. Super excited about this. Oh. All right, guys. So if you don't know, this is Godhood Comics, original, new, and necessary. Now, Godhood Comics is a publishing company that I started about 10 years ago. Now, I have been making comics and creating characters, just like a lot of us, since I was in kindergarten. I mean, I remember my first comic book I ever made was like a Dragon Ball Z spoof where I created my own Dragon Ball Z characters. And my own Majin Buu, and from there, me and my classmates, we had this big old saga in our classroom. This is kindergarten, but I founded Godhood Comics in 2016. Yeah, when I just got online, guys, and I discovered this huge community of people that were making comic books, and more importantly, I found Black people that were making comic books, and I was blown away, hecka inspired, but blown away. And we've been nonstop ever since. We've kind of changed our mission. We've kind of changed our purpose because now we're just interested in making independent quality comics for everyone. We are an entertainment company. We're no longer going by a publishing company. We're an entertainment company whose goal is to produce and obtain high quality IP, intellectual property. So, and to delve those into comic books, animation that we just got into. I'm sure you guys saw our animation video. We'll play it tonight again. TV, film, and other literary adaptations. So we're just starting out. If you're just joining us, go ahead, go to Godhood Comics. You can download all of our books digitally. You guys know it's been a long journey for us. We have a new website that's almost done. It's going to launch next month. We'll have all of our prints. We've got new covers. We've just been on our grind, and I'm super excited to share all of this with you guys because it has been a journey, to say the least. We've lost a lot. I've lost a lot. And to still be here, to be kicking it, to be alive, well, and just being able to talk about making comics is the blessing in itself. So shout out to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. He definitely came through on the okie doke. So let me get in here. I don't know where all my classes are tonight. They knew we had class. You guys are in trouble. For sure. Marcel, what's up, brother?
How you feeling?
Hey, life's good.
That's good. That's good. I wrote more than 2 pages, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
Then you are making me happy, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that I appreciate. We got 40 people in here. Guys, make sure we are sharing the live. Everybody in the class, if you can, go ahead and show your face because we want to get you guys noticed, and we want to all right, let me see if that camera's working now.
What's up, Marcel, boy?
What's up, man? How you feeling?
Man, I can't complain about it.
That's good, yeah. I was chilling. I went over a couple things that I wrote. I think it's good. I hope it is.
Well, we'll see that. We are because we have new people in here. Chillmonger, shout out to Chillmonger, says we all drew. You know, we're gonna put our chat on the. We're gonna put our. We're gonna open up these comments because, y'all. Charleston, you're gonna be a little covered up, but hey, that's how the cookie crumble, boss. Chillmonger says we all drew Super Saiyan 6, 7, and 8. Definitely. And they had that picture, had the Super Saiyan 100 with the hair all wrapped around to the ground type of situation going on. I even created my own, like, before we even saw how Super Saiyan Girl looked in Dragon Ball Super. I had created 2 girls. I'll never forget them. They were my first. Art of Brunson, what's up, bro? Coming in clutch on the Twitch channel. Twitch, I am so sorry. Let me see where you guys are from, because this camera quality was not like how it's supposed to be. All right, so excuse me on that note. All right, so our most views are coming from X. Guys, I have been going crazy on X. Make sure you follow me on X, Tyler the Animator. And that's where we've been getting a lot of support. So that's exciting. And then our second most viewed is from YouTube, then our Facebook, and then our Twitch. All right, so let's get into why we came. 51, keep going. Keep sharing the live. Keep liking the stream, sharing it, commenting it. Booyaka. Jesus Christ, Francis. Francis is here, guys. He made it. Francis, dude.
Hey, sorry about that. I don't have my personal Wi-Fi set up in my new apartment yet, so I have to be at Starbucks.
Okay. I was about to say this is an important night for us all, sir.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, trust I know. Hey, what's up?
All right, guys. So make sure. Remember that we are streaming. So make sure if we're not talking, our mic is on mute. And just be advised that we are streaming. We got 53 people in here with us. Hopefully it'll go up. Our peak was at 200 last week, I think, or less. So Just want to get anybody in here. Okay. All right, guys. So, because we have 54 people in here, we're going to go through our comic booking 101. Yeah, so y'all know my camera was messed up last time. It's messed up again. So I'm ordering a new camera. There we go. All right. If you're just joining us, guys, today you're going to learn, at the very least, how to create your own comic book. At the very most, now you say that, but you know what I mean. You're going to learn how to make right, Francis. Francis, you're my big. I love your support. Let's get it. Can we get a shout out to Francis in the chat, guys, please? Someone let Francis know how much we love him. But what we like to do is, before each stream, we do want to go through the basics of what a comic book is, and we've had this for years, and it's something that has helped us, helped the class, and then and also helped me. So let's get into it. Obviously, guys, we are a live stream, so I do want people to know if you have a questions. I know in our private sessions, we kind of wait. We put it in the chat, or we wait towards the end. But if you do have a question, go ahead and put it in the chat, and we'll answer it live. That way, anybody else who's thinking the same thing can kind of get into it as well. No, we don't want to share that because we're grown. We want to share what we want to share.
You gotta love technology. Never works when you need it to.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part about all this, man. The fun of it all. The fun of it all. Let me make sure I can smile because I want my guys to be shown too. There we go, a lot. There we go, a lot. All right. Let's share this, guys, and let's get into it. You know the excitement of what's coming. I hope you guys have spent that week preparing because, guys, we're going to be finishing as a class. We have come up with a comic book concept and started writing our script. And that is the best way to learn comic book script formatting. And so we're going to do that tonight, and you are going to join us. But we also want you to be a part of writing the comic book script. And if you have a suggestion or a question, go ahead and put it in the chat so we can add your ideas as well. Because I'm going to tell y'all, last class, some of the guys were going a little blank there. So I want to see who's going to be more involved today. It's going to be the top dogs of the class, our first class, or is it going to be the chat? I want to know if the chat is going to make better creative suggestions than my boys. All right. It's chat versus the boys tonight, guys.
We them boys.
I wish one day I'm gonna learn how to play stuff. I'll tell you that.
It's just the Starbucks music.
No, I mean, when you said we them boys, that would have been good to play that. Okay, I get it, but I want to share my screen. Select a tab to share. I am. One second, kids. 1 second, kids.
At the end of the day, all we have is time.
That is true. That is true. All right. We've got to get this shared. Stay with us, guys. 78 people in here. Make sure you're liking, commenting, and sharing. Shout out to Brunson. All right. Guys, I am 34 years old. Technology is not my stuff. All right. Can I get an amen? Yeah, you can share it. Oh my God. No. And how do I do this? How do I share this? Like, what's going on? What are we doing here?
Here, what are you trying to share?
Our script, our scripting, PowerPoint.
The PowerPoint.
Mhm. I don't understand this lot.
Have you tried the share screen button at the bottom there?
Yeah, what it's saying is I had to go to my system settings and allow Chrome to be shared. But that is saying,
Yeah, Chrome always gets finicky when you need to do stuff like that.
yeah, so it's gonna make me like exit out, quit Chrome, and then it'll allot that power. So we're not gonna do that today. Let's see if we can do it this way, because it should be in my Canva, and we'll share it that way. Because the PDF isn't working. Stay tuned, guys. You don't want to leave because you're about to get some good information. Interesting. When you need it to work, it's not working. All right. Yeah, we'll do it this way. You've got to be solution-based when making comics. It's true. The class is like, yeah, we know. All right. And we are about to be live. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't share anything.
I didn't get a chance to update the doc that you sent to write the stuff. I just wrote it in my notes.
Are you guys allowed to share your screen?
I might be able to. The PDF is working for me, so I'm going to see if I can get the comic PDF uploaded. One sec.
No, I can't do it on mine.
There is a way, but I would have to cancel this and come back on, and I'm not doing that at all. But I would have to. All right, guys, let's see if this works.
Hold on, I think I've almost got this. Let me see if I can do something here.
Yeah, but even in that event, it's still like I'm not going to be able to share anything.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Dang it! All right, so I'm going to, guys, we're going to have to end this right now, really quick, so we can come back on and I can be able to share my stuff. We got 80 people in here. We need you guys to come back. We're going to get into the class. Character development, outlining, comic book script formatting, with our live first class. What do we have here? All right. This may stop it. Hopefully it won't. If it does,
I found the stream on YouTube.
Do we log off and come back in?
I don't even know, man.
That's a great question. I
I don't think so though.
will.
I got it. I got it.
Okay.
There we go.
Just like magic.
Exactly. Now let's get into this. Dang, man. People in here waiting like, what's going on with this brother? My bad, y'all. Y'all know how life be sometimes, man. Now let's get into it, big dog. Exactly. Tuh. Right?
There we fucking go.
Who's tuh with me?
Rock and roll.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. Let's get into this. Now, just like when you're writing a play, a novel, a screenplay, there is a certain standard format that you need to follow. And we're about to get into that format. Now, just because something, comic book script is something a little bit more personal, because although you follow a standard format, a script is going to be like a fingerprint. No two comic creators are going to have the same format, but the format is always going to be industry standards. All right. So first, before we get into that, let's talk about what is a comic book, right? So a good comic book. A comic book is typically composed of a number of elements which all work together to tell a story. All right, so you got your panel, which is your Polaroid. A panel is one illustration on a page, usually surrounded by a border. A comic book page is made up of one or more panels. Each panel moves the story along by depicting an action with figures and speech bubbles. Then you have your caption. It's your who, what, when, where, why, a box that is separate from the rest of the panel, usually used to provide context for what's happening through the voice of a narrator. Number 3, you got your speech bubble. We've all seen comic books. We've all read comic books. We know what the speech bubble is. It is what your character is saying. All right. These contain dialogue of characters inside the panel. Each speech bubble has a tail which points to who is speaking the dialogue. Enough said. A splash page is a full page illustration which often is used at the beginning of a comic book to introduce the story and establish the setting and mood. But there's also double spreads and splashes throughout the comic book. We'll see examples of these later. What are the types of comic book? Now, we always talk about the difference between a comic book creator and a comicpreneur. Let's get into that. All right. A comicpreneur is a comic book creator who makes comics to sell and monetize them. They are in it for a business. They are a publishing company. They want to sell at conventions. They want to make their money back because comics can be very expensive. All right. They're in it to make their money back and profit so they can keep making more comics. A comic creator is a creator who loves the medium very much. They love the medium so much so that they do not care about making money. Now, they may sell their work, but it's not their priority. It's not their end game. Now, indie comics needs comicpreneurs and comic creators to work. Now, a comicpreneur can be a comic creator, but a comic creator cannot be a comicpreneur. All right. So knowing which one you are and want to be, it's going to save you a lot of time and money in the long run. I'm telling you, know what kind of creator you want to be. Do you want this something you want to monetize, or is this something that you just like to do and you want to take what's in your head and put it on paper? So it's very important you know what type of creator you are, because there are certain qualities that come with both that you need to know. Me, myself, I'm a comicpreneur. I do love comics, I do love making comics, which makes me a comic book creator, but I also am making comics to garner a profit and to continue to make comics. All right. So you're going to make comics. You need to know about the type of comics, right? Number one, you've got your standard comic. That is your 22 to 34 page comic book. Your single issue, your issue 1, your issue 2, your issue 3, your issue 4, single, straight to the point. All right. Number 2 is going to be your graphic novel. Now, your graphic novel is going to be a comic book containing 80 to 100 pages or more, and it's often used as a one-shot or a collection of an entire series. That means you're going to take your standard comic, issue 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and put them in one giant graphic novel, or you're going to actually get it done as a graphic novel. Number 3 is your one-shot. These are your proof of concepts. I always suggest that new comic creators start with a one-shot. Now, a one-shot can be your issue 1, but you need to write this one-shot in a way that if you only have one issue, it's going to serve the story justice and not leave on such a cliffhanger where you won't get to an issue 2, 3, or 4. So that's your one-shot, a standard comic or graphic novel that completely wraps up the story in one single book. Now, a standard can be a one-shot and a graphic novel can be a one-shot, meaning that this is only graphic novel is going to be volume 1. There is going to be no volume 2. All right. And number 4 is what most people recognize is your comic strip. Your comic strip is a short story, usually containing 3 to 8 panels, and can be found in newspapers or a pitch to use to send to a publisher. Now, the comic strip is what really started the medium, right? In the late 20s, early 30s, it really started taking off. It was in your local newspaper where you had the Garfield or the Peanuts or Dennis the Menace. You had all these different strips that just lasted a couple of panels. Now, because you are paying a page rate, you need to figure out what's the best way for you to get your story out. And guys, you know what's cheaper than getting a page done? Getting a panel done. What we want you to do is get the story out of you no matter what. Because if you're here tonight, you're probably like me, and you're probably like me now and how I was 10 years ago. You have these huge ideas, Hollywood blockbusters, all floating in your head, and they're eating away from you at the inside. You can't sleep. You can't think at work. You can't go to a bar or drink without thinking about it. You can't be around your friends or family because your story and your characters are eating away at you. If you cannot afford to do 1, 2, or 3, you're going to start with 4. And I'm going to talk about that in a second as well. All right, let's move on. We're going to keep this real short because when we do our classes, we're going to do a couple of free streamings, but you got to come on here, sign up for the class, guys, because you're going to get all the jewels you need. All right. So let's talk about what do you need to make a comic book. All right. So while it is entirely possible to construct a comic book by yourself, this is a rare talent. Writing comics is a tough and demanding job. Most writers create the story, then collaborate with other artists to bring that story to the page. Consider the various collaborators in a comic book. Now, what does that mean? There are people out there who are the creators of their comic book, the writers, the artists, the inkers, the letterers, the publishers, and the printers. One person can do all of that. Very, very rarely. And if they are, the quality is going to dip down. All right. So instead, we break it down into a team. Every comic book that you see, big leagues, big 2, or smaller or independent comics down to us, is done by a team. So you have the creator. Every comic book begins in the back of someone's mind. The creator of a comic book is simply the individual who came up with the idea. This can be the writer of the book, or in most cases, someone who isn't the writer and just has a cool idea that they want to outsource to a writer. All right. The writer develops the story, plot, setting, characters, conflict, and dialogue. We know what the writer does. The editor, I just told my class 2 weeks ago, do not do your script without having an editor. I know we want to cut costs, and it seems like, oh, well, I'm a writer, so I can be an editor too. No, As a writer, you are endowed with the power of ego. All of us have it. In fact, you cannot be a good writer without ego, I'd argue. So you want to make sure that you have someone other than you looking at your work. It's very important. Shout out. We got 95 people in here, guys. Very important that you like and share the live, okay? Very important that you like and share the live. Ryan says the comicpreneur is what I need to learn how to be. Ryan, stay tuned. We're going to talk about it. Stay tuned. Guys, if you have questions, make sure you are chatting, retweet. If you're on X, dang. We got 83 people here on X, 10 on YouTube, 1 on stream, 1 on Facebook. Jesus, Facebook and Twitch, you guys got to step it up. But we're going to start. I know it's that camera quality. I know it is. All right. So, as I said, you need an editor. Your editor. Every good writer needs an editor. Ideally, an editor will know a writer well and understand his or her objective, but still be able to offer thoughtful criticism. Guys, your editor is not the guy. It's not just the guy that's going to come in and make sure you're using the right there or the right your. That's not your editor's job. Yes, they do handle grammar. They do handle grammar, but your editor is what I like to call your makeup artist. They're going to take your script, put lipstick on it, put a dress on it, put some heels on it, and put it on the corner on a Saturday night. They're going to make that script look so good, so undeniable, because they know you, they know the work that you're going for, they know the quality that you're going for. And remember, as a writer, we're all endowed with the curse of ego. To be a great writer, you have to have ego, and to be a better writer, you have to know when to step outside of it. You have to know that your loyalty is not to yourself, it's to the characters and your story. Let me repeat that. Your loyalty is not to yourself, it is to your characters and your story. And that is why having an editor is muy importante. All right. Now let's get to the beauty. All right. So you got your artist. We know what the artist does. They're going to take that script that the editor finalized and they're going to render it. They're going to draw it out. They are going to put the pencils and the panels and the inks, and they're going to do all of that stuff. The pencils, and they're going to make you say, dang, this is what was trapped in my head. Guys, this is what I always joke with my colleagues, and I say, it's got to be good for James Cameron to have shot a movie and then go see Avatar in theaters. It's got to be a great feeling. It will not compare to you holding your own comic book in your hand for the first time. Call me biased. I'm going to say it right now. Right? James Gunn will never experience what it feels like to take an idea from your head and hold it in a comic book. I'm telling you, there's no director that feels it. That's my biased opinion, obviously. Then you've got after your artist gets done with it, you got your colorist. Your colorist is going to add those colors. Then you have your letterer, guys, who's going to do the speech bubbles, the captions, everything that you read. All of these art forms are important. It is not a good idea to cut corners on any of this stuff. All right, we're going to talk about outlining a little later because we've got to get to that script. Now, before we move on, any questions? What we're going to do is we're going to show a Godhood comic book. Great question, Ryan. Oh, this is good. Let's get in some of this chat. Let's get in some of this chat. Chillmonger says, but editors can be wrong. You just got to explain why you did something. So again, you and your editor should have a strong connection, and that's going to be built over time, right? That's going to have to be built over time, obviously. Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. That's going to have to be built over time. But yes, you should have hired an editor that you trust, someone that actually does know what they're talking about and know what they're doing. Rarely have I had that problem. Also, it is a collaborative effort. There have been things, at the end of the day, it's your story. There has been things where my editor says, I think you should do like this, Ty. And I say, nah, let's just keep it my way. And that's how it's going to be. There is also times, I kid you not, where my editor has said, Ty, this is good, but I like this better. And I'm sitting here like, oh, God, I don't like it. He's fighting it. I'm fighting it. We go with his idea. And when it's drawn, I could not have done it better myself. So it very much depends on the relationship that you guys build together. That's a great question. Yes, Gary, you know my breakdown. A lot of guys don't like when I say that. They don't like the breakdown between comic-preneur or comic creator. But I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of guys who are comic creators who are acting like comic-preneurs, and they don't know because they don't understand the business side of it, and vice versa. So it's very important that you know which is which. Mark Coley, if you want to ask, I would rather you come back and ask a specific advice that I would have you, because we're going to go along and we're probably going to cover a lot of the things that you want to ask. But if you have something more specific, because obviously I have a lot of advice, but that would take days or weeks or years. So come back, type in something specific, and we'll go over it. Absolutely, 100%. Gary says, holding your comic in hand is a surreal feeling, regardless of how many comics you publish. Guys, right now, make sure you are requoting wherever you are right now. If you're on, please retweet, re-X, however you call it, share the live to someone. Get someone else in here. We're at 107. We want to hit 150. Our goal tonight is 150. Our goal tonight is 150. And our goal tonight is 150. All right. Let's answer two more questions and we'll get back to because you'll try them out. You're going to send your script. Listen, your perfect story. Perfect example. If I'm writing a story and a character is supposed to jump out of a building and land on the bushes, and my editor says, you know what? No, I think he should jump out of the building. The building should explode and he land on something else. Well, his idea sounds better. So it's a common sense type of relationship. You are not obliged to, you don't have to always go your editor's route, but it's always good as a creator in any space to have some pushback, to have different opinions. Guys, I'm telling you, my first few comic books, I did not have an editor. I wish I did. They would have been a lot better. And they're good. There's my ego talking. They're great. They're masterful. But if I had an editor, they would have been better. That I can promise you. And 9 times out of 10, my idea is the best anyway. So he's just being paid to kind of tell me that some ideas aren't good. But it's a tricky situation. You definitely want an editor. Can't afford one. I understand it. If that's like, because you're paying for all this, right? You're paying everybody on your team per page. So if you're going to cut, most people, when it's time to cut costs, they cut the editor, which is completely understandable. But we're talking about comicpreneurship. Anytime I'm teaching you guys lessons, I'm always coming from someone who is a comicpreneur. And I think that is the most important. All right. So let's get into, we're going to share one of my comics that we're going to share one of my comics. We hope you like it. If you don't like it, leave.
Wait.
All right. So we are going to look at the antagonist as a reference. If you don't know what the antagonist is, I feel very sorry for you. Guys, this is the antagonist. It is my very own comic book series. Quite frankly, my best work, but we're going to look at different aspects of what kind of makes up a comic book page. The first thing I'm going to show you is this. Now, let me make sure that we are... No, not me, love. There we go. There we go, love. So the first thing I do want to share is that this is called a double spread, or a double splash, if you will, where obviously you cut this down the middle, and in the comic, these are 2 pages. A double spread or a double splash are things that you want to use to really sell what's going on in a scene. I mean, it's got to be something big happening, an action scene, a big reveal, or something that's so beautiful. Remember what we said a couple of weeks ago, class, my boys, why are you making this a comic book? Remember, comics are a visual medium, and you need to understand why your story is not a graphic novel. Why your story isn't a novel, why your story isn't a screenplay, why your story isn't a play, why your story isn't a children's book. So you want to make sure you're telling stories that are visually appealing. One of my pet peeves, and I get a lot of slack about this, is when I'm reading comic books, I love great, dope artwork. Now, art is subjective, naturally, but I hate ugly art. And if you're a comicpreneur, you better make sure you're investing in top quality artwork. Again, I get a lot of slack from my colleagues. I hate bad art. I would not buy a comic book, a poster, anything at a convention if it looks like a third grade was my second grade godson drew it. That's just how I am. Now, if you're a comic creator and you just want to get your ideas out, hell, you can just draw stick figures. But if you are planning on selling and scaling your comic book journey, you got to do it the right way. Look at this artwork. I always said that at Godhood Comics, our art was going to be just as good or better than anything Marvel and DC has put out. And we have stood by that from day one. That if you look at our comic books on a shelf next to a Marvel comic books, it'll look like it was done by the big 2. And I advise everyone to invest in high quality artwork. If you know me and you know Godhood, you know I say high quality artwork all the time. Do not have a comic book with ugly artwork. Don't do it. You're wasting your time, your money, and quite frankly, your effort. What do I mean when I say scaling your comic book work? If you know, a couple of years ago, it was announced that the antagonist was going to be a live action TV show. Unfortunately, due to the Hollywood strike and a couple of drop ball from the producers, it didn't ever happen. But because we had the quality, it just gained traction. The artwork and the character kept going viral, and in a time span of about 6 months, I probably met with about 40 different Hollywood producers. And so that's why knowing what you want to be as a creator is very important, guys. All right. So number 1 is making sure you have that top quality artwork. All right. So let's get into a comic book page. And we will kind of discuss what we talked about, the different things that make up a comic book page. All right. So let's go to one of my favorite pages with my beautiful Tanya Ebel, aka Ultima, the mother and the supervillain in full screen. Yeah, entire screen, kid. Let me make sure that's So one of the things I say that a comic book should do is appeal to the 5 major senses. That is correct. Your comic book, how we experience life as human beings is through our 5 senses. We can touch, taste, smell, feel, or hear. When you're having a comic book, you want to kind of have your reader experience the same thing. And if you look at this double spread specifically, you kind of can hear her tearing out his heart. You can hear the glass breaking. You can kind of taste and smell the blood. We've all cut our finger, put it in our mouth. We know that chemical kind of taste that the blood has. We've seen a horror movie. We can hear. So some of us have broken arms, have broken legs. We can kind of feel what's going on here, and then we can also smell it. I talked last week about how, for me, I can smell this heat vision. It's some kind of microwavable battery type of smell. In fact, one of the characters in the story knows that Ultima is the culprit because she never forgets the smell of her heat vision, and I can just kind of smell this ionized battery type of smell. And I think also if you're writing your book, you want to make sure you don't have to appeal. I'm not saying appeal to all 5 senses every page, but you do want to get your reader engaged in some way. And I think this page really did that. All right. So let's get into what we have here. Okay. So I should have, this is the compressed low res. I should have brought up the high res one, but we're all right. So here we have hang on, because I do want to get a caption in here. Well, this is be perfect. All right. Sorry. So here's your caption right here. That is what we said. This is your who, what, when, where, and why. That is going to set up your scene or your establishing shot. This caption says New York City earlier. So we see a view of the Statue of Liberty. Then we come into this nice apartment, and we see this woman here. We can both smell, feel, and hear that tea being poured. Shing. This is called an SFX. Also your sound effects, obviously, but it's also going to read like a caption. So we can kind of hear that shing that comes out. We can hear this glass crack. And what do you know? Here are our speech bubbles. Here are our speech bubbles. And Reggie Owens says, hello, Dorothy. Dorothy says, you've got 5 seconds to tell me why you're in my apartment, Reggie, or else you'll be leaving it without your head. Easy now. The director sent me. I wanted you to know that we found them. We finally found Destructus and Ultima, who are the parents and the supervillains in the antagonist series. So you can see how everything we talked about, and this is the end of that book, and it says to be continued. This is going to be your caption again. All right. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to pull up our and notice, guys, how it's all high quality. I mean, it's great artwork. It looks like this is a $1 billion company or $1 million company. It just looks like we've taken our time. We've invested in the right people. We have put the right teams together. Here's an example of another caption, which is establishing something. A caption can also be opening up a scene with someone speaking, and I'll show you that in just a second. So definitely go right now, guys. You can download the full trade paperback right now at godhoodcomics.com, the website we showed earlier. We will have a new website launching next month, and all our prints will be in stock, so you'll be able to come back and get them in print. But I suggest you do not wait, and you go read this now and get it right now at godhoodcomics.com. All right. All right, so here's an example of what I was just talking about, because here we have the Detroit, Michigan caption now, and then our next panel, remember, these are our panels. They should read like a Polaroid. Your panel is you taking a picture of an action, and when the photos print out, you're able to push them in the order of how they were taken. All right, so this is a caption, but it's also showing that someone is talking. So this caption is a who, right? And then this is what he was saying. And then the next third panel, we now know who's talking. All right, let's close that and get in here and see if we've got any questions. And then we're going to get into what my boys are waiting on. Trust me. All right, guys. So the next part of the class is going to be our script writing format. We're going to show you how you should be formatting your comic book scripts, but we're also going to need your help. Sorry, Chillmonger. You know I'm just now new to this, man. Guys, I'm new to this, man. But hey, we made it work, player. We made it work, and we'll go over. We'll pull those pages up later on if we need to. Guys, we're at 120 people right now in the live. Our goal is 50. If you're in here, like, comment, share right now, please, please, please. I'll also be looking for a producer for our stream. So if you know how to work StreamYard, if you're a great producer, someone who can, like me, while I'm going through these pages, somebody could have pulled that comment down. Okay. All right. Ryan Benson says, art is amazing. I'm a little worried about what the type of quality would cost. Well, let's get into that because I'm an open book. So typically when you're paying for art, you want to, first of all, budgeting is super important. You need to budget. Guys, it took me 2 years to make my first comic book because I was doing 1 page a month. All I could afford was 1 page a month. But again, when that baby was done, man, was it beautiful. And it launched Godhood Comics as we know it today. So typically, you should be paying anywhere from $1,500 at your level, just starting out. And trust me, ours got up to $7K a book. We're cutting back now, so we're trying to hit about $5,000 a book per $5K per 22-page, 24-page standard comic, not including publishing or printing. But typically, when you're just starting out, you want to stick around to about $1,500 to $2,500 a comic. Yes, with what you make, with what you would spend on a comic, you can buy a used car. But this is an investment, and that's why I said you need to know what you are, whose you are, and why you're doing it. All right. So Ryan, typically what we pay our artists for pencils, inks, and colors. Yeah, so we like to do one and all artists where they can do 3. So I like to have one guy who's doing pencils, inks, and colors rather than having one penciler, one inker, and one colorist. It just kind of moves the process along. You're looking at about anywhere from about $125 per page to about $200 per page. I don't go over $200 per page. It gets expensive, guys. That's why I said you need to know, and everything you're learning or not learning is going to cost you money. So pay attention. Very good, right, sir? All right. So this next exercise is going to be funny. It's fun, guys, because we are going to get into our comic script. Now we've dropped to 119 and we're just at 122. This is the most important part of this class today, and that is writing your own comic book script. Fellas, I need us to go ahead and pull up all of our scripts. Have your script ready, because after we go through it, we get the chat caught up on all that we wrote last year. Good job. We went from 119 to 120. Let's get back to 122. And the goal is 150 on the high end tonight, guys. 150 on the high end. Get it done. Get it done. Oh, this is so exciting. Guys, trust me, this is going to be an exciting exercise. We had a ball the week before last, I think, right, guys? We had an absolute ball. Right? We had a little ball, didn't we?
An absolute goal, yes, sir.
An absolute bull. All right, guys. So before we get into that, make sure you share the live. We're going to show you live how you should be formatting your comic book using everything that we went over in our PowerPoint, aka our syllabus. So you should have what a page is, what a panel is, what a caption is, and what a speech bubble is. We're going to take that and we're going to make a comic book script. So last week, let's just say last month, because it was last month. Last month, me and my boys that you see here, Marcel, if you can put your screen on, Charleston, if you can put your screen on, we got to get into this, and they want to see how good you guys look. What we did is we played this popcorn game where we were writing a script. And so I called on people from our class randomly with the help of guiding me, because what we're doing is kind of putting our creative spark in, utilizing our creative spark and knowing how to write characters, knowing how to write dialogue, knowing how to write, most importantly, pacing. And this is a great exercise. So what we kind of did is popcorn. And so I called on somebody and said, hey, give me a name of a comic book title. And the state gave us Let's Burn It Down. Then I called on somebody else and I said, well, what's Let's Burn It Down about? And they said, in a small town, a young boy is plagued with the ramifications of the mysterious fires he sets in his sleep. Whew. If someone asks you, it's kind of like your elevator pitch. You know, if you're on the elevator with a Hollywood producer and you say, hey, man, I do comics. And they say, well, what's your comic book about? Oh, what's your comic book called? Oh, it's called Let's Burn It Down. Right. Well, I have $1 million. I'm trying to make a movie. And can you tell me what it's about? You don't want to give this. No, you want to give them. It's called an elevator pitch for a reason, because you only have the time it takes to get off the elevator. All right. So let's get into this. And we came up with this. You're welcome, Ryan. 123, guys. We got to get up to 150. That goes without saying. Man, my X guys be live, bro. Man, let me tell you something. If you're following me on X, please check in. Please comment and retweet our posts of the stream, because you guys, we've built a community on X, and I am so grateful for you guys, because it and I think a lot of us can attest to this. As a creator, sometimes you do feel. Fred probably texted me. As a creator, sometimes you do feel. Hold on, guys. I knew Fred texted me. Actually, guys, well, before we get into this, we might going to have a brief intermission where we're going to allow my colleague. He's going to come on and talk about his comic books, where you go to get his comic books, where you follow him. And this is what I want from all of you guys, is to be able. Fred, if you're in here, let me know.
It's like a paranormal show. So is Fred here with us today?
You're funny, Francis.
I tried for my life. I tried.
So let's get into this, and then if Fred takes, then we'll do that. All right. So I'm trying to make this bigger for all of us. Guys, if this instantly becomes bigger, I'm not gonna be able to see it because it's full screen. So someone tell me, yes, it's bigger. We're at 128, guys. Let's get to 138. Matter of fact, let me retweet this right now, because If you need to know how to make your comic book script, it's one of the biggest questions that we get emailed about all the time. You need to be here. Thank you for everybody that's sharing. I see these notifications right now. Perfected. Let me see what Fred said. He's a good guy. All right, so guys, if you can see this when I do make it bigger, let me know because I'm not going to be able to see immediately. Is that bigger?
You can see it all, so I guess so.
If you zoom in on the document, it might actually look bigger.
Yeah, I'm texting Fred. Yeah, so guys, before we get to that, we are going to allow Fred up. I'm going to drop everybody because I want Fred to have the floor, and give me a little second right now. Guys, let's get the live up. Let's get the stream up. 134. If you are, listen, for the past 8 years, I've gotten emails and DMs about how to write a comic book script. I can't even respond to them all. And then I have these lives. We have our YouTube videos up, and then no one is taking advantage of it. So I want to, if you know somebody right now who is struggling to write their comic book, who doesn't know how to write their comic book, before we get into this, you should be sharing this live. You should be sharing what it is we're talking about here. So while we wait for Fred, please do that. Gentlemen, I'm going to remove you really quick because we are going to allow Fred to come up in here. To talk about what he's got going on at Wiseacre Comics, guys. Share, text, whatever, because we're talking, we're feeling, we're loving, we're excited. I'm going to stop sharing that. Well, I'm not going to necessarily remove it. Beautiful stuff, love. See what Grifey says, how much do you budget for a Kickstarter? Specifically the image videos, generally marketing for a one-issue campaign. Guys, getting into Kickstarter is an entirely different video. We have raised over just under 150,000 on Kickstarter across multiple campaigns. I will actually, while we wait for Fred, I will actually pull up our last Kickstarter for our trade paperback, and kind of go through. That's a great question. I'll call you Griff because I don't know if it's Griffy or Griffey. Actually, I'm going to say Griffy because I'm not an idiot, and it definitely is Griffy. I'm going to show you Kickstarter is another thing for itself. We are going to do another stream for Kickstarter in general by itself. What are we doing here? Are you a good guy or are you not? One second, guys. Well, it might be right here. Not now, love. See if Fred's in here. Not yet. He's coming. Bear with us, guys. Stay with us. We're going to talk about Kickstarter. Again, we're going to do this in a separate video. Dang, you could have been on Kick right now, cuz. That's not the thing. I wonder if this is on Instagram Live right now. Of course it's not. All right, 1 second, guys. Gotta talk about this real quick, for sure. All right, let's get this up and let's go from here. How do you find good artists? Another great question. Give me a second. That's another for another class, but we'll allow it. All right, guys. So let me talk about our last. Yes. So typically, for all of our campaigns, we do a minimum of 20,000. This is one of our low ends. We did about $23,000. So yes, we raised $23,000 for a book that was already done. So our profit, our take home after rewards and after printing the book was about 14,500. So as you can see, like that's why I said if you want to be a comicpreneur, be a comicpreneur. But here's the basics of a Kickstarter, how you set up a Kickstarter. Right, everything that we've talked about. So they were able to get single prints and the full trade paperback is what they'll be getting from this campaign, and kind of just set it up like you would an Instagram or what I like to call an old MySpace page, talking about the characters, who they are, what they are, just going in like that. And then most importantly, you have your rewards right here. So when Kickstarter is not a GoFundMe, it's that they're getting something for something. So they're giving you something for something. And I always go up to our highest tier, 5,000. And we had one person give us 5. One person. Let me just clarify that. One person gave us $5,000 for rewards that's only going to cost us 1,000. So this is what I'm talking about. Kickstarter is going to be a whole other live stream / class. Guys, all of these are not going to be free. You got to put your money where your mouth is. So shout out to my boys for always supporting me and in turn getting that good knowledge. But Kickstarter is going to be an entirely different stream. So I'm excited about that. Great question. Let's check and see where Fred is. We're going to get Fred in here. And then we're going to talk about and then we're going to talk about 142. Guys, the goal tonight was 150. We're on 142. Again, if you know anybody who wants to make their own comic book but may be struggling, we're talking about it tonight. We're talking about the script format tonight. Get them in here, guys. We need to get to 150. Everybody needs to be sharing this from wherever you're viewing from. And right now, we've got 131 people from X. That means I need 131 retweets right now. Go ahead and get it done. Please, 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 right now, get that done. Without further ado, guys, let me introduce a very close friend of mine, a colleague. Fred actually started, and he'll tell his story, but Fred actually started in one of our comic book classes about 4 years ago. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Well, he'll tell you. He actually started in one of the classes like with where my boys are now. And when I tell you, when we're talking about a comicpreneur, when we're talking about high quality books, when we're talking about everything that we've talked about here, that we've talked about tonight so far, him going back and applying it and becoming one of the top independent comic book creators, black comic book creators, in less time. I mean, what took me fucking 8 years to do, he's done it in 2.5. I'm not kidding you. So without further ado, welcome my boy Fred Littles of Wise Acre Comics. Let's show him the respect. I'm gonna put his ats on the screen. So yeah.
What's going on, Tyler?
What's up, man?
Busy as usual.
Yeah, it's been a long time, brother.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a volleyball dad and enjoy this retirement and everything too.
Yeah, I know, man. I know that. I see. I haven't heard from you, so I know that retirement's been pretty good.
It's been pretty good. I can't complain too much and everything. A lot of time off to enjoy the family. That's what I've been really doing, right? Taking time with the family and stuff. You know, me being in the military for the last 25 years, I didn't really get a chance to really spend the quality time I wish I would have with them. Because I was either deployed or overseas, serving the country and everything. But now since I've been back, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take as much time as possible with them and really get to enjoy the things that I missed out on.
Yeah, I know, you know, even from early on, I know that's something you've always been a family man. You've always been passionate about your family, but you know, you can attest to more than anybody that when you're making comic books, I mean, it is a long, hard, and tedious job. Guys, we hit our goal at 150. Whoo! 150 people watching. Now, listen, that may not seem like a lot to some of you big dogs out there, but I want you to imagine you in a parking lot and 150 people have shown up to hear you talk. That is huge. All right. So I'm going to shut up. Fred, take it over. Talk about your comic book creator journey, how we met, where you work, what you're working on now. Show us. I'm going to let you should be able to share your screen. Yeah, whenever you share your screen, I'll add it up, and the floor is yours. Let's take about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we got to get back to actually, let's do 15 minutes, and then we got to get back to our script formatting. So stay tuned, guys. Share. Fred, it's all you, brother.
Let me pull up Magnus real quick here, and I'll tell you about my journey and everything too while this is pulling up. So I would say I started this process, like Tyler said, about 4 or 5 years ago. But my process came a little bit different from everybody else, right? Mine came through grief. So when my mom passed away back in 2018, there was one pain point. And then there was a good point when Black Panther came out. And so going to seeing Black Panther, I was like, you know what, we need more of this. But going to my little comic book store, we didn't have that much on the shelf that was a reflection of me. And so I knew I had a story and everything. I just didn't know how to tell it because I was trying to process grief. And so, I figured, why not tell the story of my family? And so I had 2 stories that I actually wrote in a cold sweat in the middle of the morning, everything, 3 o'clock in the morning. I got up and started writing 2 stories. One was a coma, and the next one was Magnus. And so scrolling through Facebook again, having a hard time sleeping and everything, it led me to a post from Godhood Comics. I was like, you know what? Why not? And so I reached out to Tyler, and I decided to take a class. And in that class, I think David Crowson was in there as well. And I'm listening to David and Tyler go back and forth and everything about their process of creating comics. And it got me really thinking about, should I do it? Should I be able to tell my story? And this became an outlet for me because I was really good. I was a really good writer. I used to draw and doodle and everything back in junior high school across the board. But trying to process these feelings that I was feeling at that point in time, which was really grief because I couldn't really process it. I didn't know how to process at the time. I decided to write this story. And in this story, it became a reflection of my research through African mythology, European mythology, trying to learn a little bit more about where my mom came from, her background, and it led me down a path to where I created a story called Magnus Jakuta. And I remember sitting in my first pitch submission to Tyler. And Tyler, he rejected it. He was like, you know what, Fred, the cover is good, but the inside of the book does not match the cover. And I was crushed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was crushed. But with that constructive feedback, I went back and I honed my craft because Tyler said it, you want to make sure you put your best foot forward. And so during that time frame, I knew I had another story in hand, which was Magnus. I went out and searched for a artist, which I found Bruno. I searched for a colorist, which I found Philip Bowler. And then I corralled a team, and Tyler recommended a letterers for lettering the book, which was Letter Squids. And from there, I went forth and full steam ahead the first 3 issues of Magnus. And it was costly. It was not cheap. But the thing about Tyler that he really recommended was make sure you focus on quality. Quality. So I found the artist, Bruno, and shout out to Bruno and everything because Bruno was picked up just recently by Marvel. He went from DC to Marvel and everything.
Fred, see if you can share your screen so we can bring up some of that art too. That way they can have a visual to what you're talking about.
And so with that team in place, I was able to create my first 3 issues of Magnus. I'll show you the first one right here. Let me pull it up for you. Let's see if we can share it. I'm almost like you, Tyler. How do I share this thing?
You on StreamYard, right?
Yeah.
So there's a little little panel at the bottom where it has your mic and your camera, and then there's a plus computer screen.
Let's see if I pull this up, would it come on?
And then it's gonna yep.
Can
Let me
you see
see.
it?
Yeah, yep, I got you. I'm adding it to the stage right now. There you go, big dog.
Yep. So, folks, this is Magnus Jakuta. This is my first real published comic book, and this one has really led from a standpoint of launching my career as a comic book creator and entrepreneur and everything too at the same time, like Tyler like to say it, but also as a publisher and everything as well. And a lot of this and everything, I learned from this class, this course. From writing scripts and everything across the board to really to be able to tell a story, how to really focus on paneling, transitions, all these things and stuff like that, that initially I had a hard time trying to decipher, but it started coming easy to me because as I was going through the course, I started picking up on a lot of things the title was putting down. And, I knew I had a story at hand, and I really trusted the team. I really trusted my artists to deliver exactly what came from the script and everything, right? And so my co-writer on it, Devin R. Scott, did a great, tremendous job and everything with me, trying to find balance for the artist storytelling, not only from a superhero standpoint, but also bridging the African mythology into this lore and really creating this universe with this character. And so, I would tell you, Magnus #1 is probably like one of my highest grossing books today. This one, I would go to comic conventions and I would actually set out issue #1. It's one of the favorite books that people really, really enjoy. And so I didn't really put a lot of handcuffs on this book per se. We kind of pushed ourselves, myself and Devin, everything, of really trying to capture something really was original and brought something new to the scene. And so, I think the community has been very, very, very receptive of this book, and I'm very pleased at how it came out. And I'll tell you, individuals that's in the class today, one of the biggest things I always emphasize, and I tell this to everybody I meet across the comic convention circuit and everything, everyone has a story to tell. It's your story, and only you can tell it the best way you can. And so don't be afraid to take that leap of faith and push yourself to take that first step to tell and share your story with the world. Because I would tell you, I was hesitant at first to reach out to Tyler from that Facebook post. I was like, yeah, right. But once I saw the antagonist, and yes, I do have my copy here, Tyler.
Let me see that. Yeah.
Antagonist and everything, right? I knew this was a special time to be a creator in this space. And so as I continue on this journey and everything, like I said, at the end of the day, you put in what your value, right? You put in what you want to get out of it and everything too. And so, like Tyra said, you might, if you can't afford it, it's okay. Do a page a month. If it takes you 2 years to tell your story the right way, don't rush the process, because once you tell it and once people see it and they will gravitate to it, the one thing I tell people all the time too is your story is your connective tissue. It's the connection that resonates with people. And as long as you able to tell your story, that's what it means the most. You're your #1 customer. You're the first customer. You are your first customer. And once you trust that process and understand that process and everything, the sky's the limit. And so I would tell you, I have been aggressive in this market. I really do, because I have a whole lot of stories to tell and share. But Magnus is my baby. I love it. We're on issue #6 right now. I would not be being at this position right now, issue #6, 3 to 4 years ago. But I took a chance on myself and said, you know what? If I believe it, I can think it, I can do it. And as long as you got your story to fall back on, at the end of the day, like I said, I like to show this page right here, because this page is a reflection of my entire family. Sacrifice, resilience. It took sacrifice for me to get to a point within my journey to be able to tell my story. And through my mom's passing, it was a gift that she really gave me, everything to really tell and reflect on not only her life, but tell a story through her lens of her family, which led me to Africa, really to delve into that mythology, your mythology, to where I found my concept artist who's able to deliver the Orisha in a very diverse form for the first time in comic book lore. And so, like I said, it's a journey, but enjoy, embrace it. And at the end of the day, when you hold your comic book in your hand, and you can say, This is something that you own. This is yours. No one can take it away from you. This is your story. It's worth every penny. So, brother, I appreciate the
yeah, Fred, go ahead and take us to the website real quick. Show them what they can get from the website, and then where we can follow you, and then we're good, man.
Sure. Let's do this real quick here. Stop sharing that one. We'll pull this one up.
Guys, you can follow Fred on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube at Wiseacre Comics. Wiseacre Comics. As I said again, there are not, unfortunately, you guys know what I said about writing and ego, and they go hand in hand. There are not many creators' work that I would consider equal or greater than what we're producing at Godhood Comics. And hey, blame me later. You're supposed to love your own stuff. But when I tell you the quality that Fred puts out is exceptional, it is exceptional. You need to check them out.
So yeah, this is the page right here, wiseacre.us. And this is where we have a lot of our stuff and everything on here. You know, you can go to our store, purchase any digital or physical copies of the books and everything. We also post a lot of our socials and stuff on here as well. If you're out there and about, and we're at different conventions and stuff, you'll see us out there in conventions and everything too at the same time. Feel free to pop up. Our next convention will be at Tucson Comic Con here at the end of the month. So again, this is something I really enjoy doing, is getting on the convention trail and really seeing and greeting the fans and meeting new people and new creators, everything too at the same time. And as you see here, this is a little bit of display we have here. This I sit at my table and everything, a lot of things we offer, and just be able to just give these books to different fans, sign these books and pass them out and everything means a lot. So again, you can find us out here on wiseacre.us and at Wiseacre Comics across all social media platforms.
Man, Fred looks exceptional, man. That's a good looking website there, brother.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I need some help now. That's a good looking website, brother.
I got you.
Francis said, sick setup Comic-Con, sick Comic-Con setup.
Thank
you, Fred.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Rashid Knox Fred says, hey now, thanks for sharing. Very encouraging as I write.
Yeah, write it every day. Every day. Doesn't matter. And if you're not at home where you can get in front of a computer or have a pen and a pencil and a piece of paper in front of you, you have your phone. It has notes on there. Type them up. It doesn't matter if you get an ideal or spark. Write it down. Come back to it.
Definitely. Fred, thank you so much for being here. I know it's last minute. I know we talked about it, but I didn't know. We got 176 now, 176 people viewing. Guys, we need to get to 200 before the end of the night. We have another hour to go, and we're going to delve into our comic script formatting. Again, you need to be following Fred at wiseacre.com. Shop with them, catch them, make sure you're stalking him to see where you can pull up on him at a comic book convention. And I mean actually stalk him. You need to be going where they're going. You need to get your hands on these books, guys. Fred, you know how I feel about you. You know everything we've been through. You know I love you. I'll always be here for you. And I cannot wait to talk about what we got going on next, man, and to continue everything that we have, brother. I love you so much, and it's good to see your face and hear your voice.
All right. You have a good one.
Peace. All right, guys, so we're going to add our boys back up here. We are getting into the comic book script, but I need us to get to 180. We need to get to 180. We're at 176. As soon as we're at you know what? Let's say 178. We need 2 more people in. Let's say 178, and then we are live. All my boys, make sure you're coming back on the camera. We're adding everybody back. Earl, I need to see your beautiful face. There he is. Earl said, let me get on over there. Earl was trying to duck off, y'all. Let's go ahead and pull our script up. Hope you guys learned a lot. Fred is the absolute GOAT. He is somebody who has grown so much in such a short span of time. It's mind blowing, but that's that military background to when he locks in. We're at 180. Wow. When Fred locks in on anything, I feel sorry for that thing. That's for sure. So make sure you guys follow Wiseacre Comics. Now let's get into that beautiful script that we have been waiting to get into. As we said last month, we were doing an exercise, friends. We did an exercise where we were writing a script live between the 10 of us. And we're going to do that now. Okay. So talk about how we literally popcorn, right? So nothing that you see here was done by the same person unless I had to come in, because we did decide that this is going to be an actual comic book co-produced and published by all of us collectively through non-profitable. We will not sell. God is going to lose money off. We're going to create a comic, and it's going to have all of our names on there, all of our boys' names on there. So make sure you're joining this class so you can help us, because we're going to assign our team and the editor to this. All right. So the title of the book is called "Let's Burn It Down," and here is your elevator pitch. In a small town, a young boy is plagued with ramifications of mysterious fires he says in his sleep. Already, as a comic book creator, you should be visualizing how this artwork looks. Already, you should be visualizing what comic artists you'd have in mind. You should be thinking about the fires, how hot they are, how the boy looks, whatever is going on. You should already be on it. So we have our page 1 indicator. Now, we do this several different ways. I usually do page 1 like that, just in case the artist needs to hurry up and scroll. He has those red indicators that's page 1. So we'll go ahead and put that. Then it says caption, Charleston, 1:30 a.m. So we know where we are, and we also know what time it is. Here are our panels. Now, you can do panels in a few ways. I do panels in bulletins because for me, I'm a little bit of OCD when it comes to my writing, and I like everything to look clean and neat. And also, your job as a writer is to make your artist job as easy as possible. And what your artist is doing effectively, guys, man, if this is on TikTok, this would be great. But StreamYard does not. We'll figure it out. It's your artist's job to take what you've written and put it into pictures. And so you want to make that process super easy. Now, what you'll see sometimes is a panel that looks like this, and both are fine. So you'll see this sometimes. You'll see this. You might even see this. It is fine, however you want to do it. I have seen in submissions, guys. We get so many submission scripts all the time at Godhood Comics. So I have even seen. This. So however you want to do it, again, I go ahead and do like this. Put my little bubbles in there, indicate my little indicators that's panel 1. And it just makes the artist's eyes flow better. So panel 1, establishing shot, night, a 2-story home during a thunderstorm. Rain berates against a white picket fence. Panel 2, in the bedroom of a 10-year-old boy, a boy tosses and turns. The boy tosses and turns with night terrors, sweat illuminating and staining his blue superhero pajamas. Panel 3, close up. The boy grunts and groans in pain as the cold sweat overtakes him. Also, not chat, but my boys, if I cannot see any of you right now, so if you feel there are comments that are popping up that I need to address, go ahead and cut me off and say something. Or if there's something that I can't see, go ahead and cut me off and say something. Panel 3, close up. The boy grunts and groans in pain as the cold sweats overtake his face. We thought, caption. Remember, Caption is who, what, where, when, and why. And in this case, it is a who, and he's speaking. Caption. I'm going to say it in like how I would expect him to say it. Caption. We thought he was a normal boy. And for 2 weeks, he was. Panel 4, establishing shot of an elementary school engulfed in flames. So intense, not even the rain of the storm has an effect. Caption. Remember, this caption is going over panel 4. Caption. Until the fire started. Page 2. This is page 2. And right off the back, we know it's going to be 5 panels. Now, typically per page, you want to have 5 panels or less. If it's more action than dialogue, sometimes 7 panels are necessary. And I have done 6 to 7 panels. If it's a fight scene or more action, you're showcasing more action than you are drama, then that is fine. But to sell a good page, you always want to stick to 5 panels. Now, in severe events where there's something that you want to showcase badly, there's been 20 panels in a Marvel page of a Hulk comic book, right? Because all he's doing is smashing or running around. And creatively, your editor and your art team and yourself will be able to indicate that. But typically, you want to stay in between 1 to 7 panels, no more than 7, unless you are a creative genius and you know this is going to look good. So page 2, panel 1, a burning hardware store, a burning bank, a burning restaurant, a burning church, a burning gas station. Panel 6, a burning town hall. And so because we have something else on panel 6, we're going to go ahead and pop that out like that there, boy. Put my damn bubbles in there. I call them bubbles, not bulletins. Mind your business. A burning town hall. In front of the blaze are firefighters, copes. You know, people got to cope with this stuff, man. They're burning. Cops, onlookers. But what we notice most of all is Sheriff Del B. Scott. Guys, we created this together. Del B. Scott, frozen as he stares up at the burning flames. Them things are getting under. Guys, if you notice, my mentor always told me to write like you're drunk and edit like you're sober. Do not write and edit at the same time. I can't do it. It destroys me. I lose train of thought. I don't care. And I'm going to stop doing it as we go now. Caption. So this caption continued. Caption. Until the fire started and never stopped. Page 3. It's going to get good, and we need your help. There's our indicator. Panel 1. Sheriff Scott begins to walk. I don't know what this was or who told you to do it. Sheriff Scott begins to walk away from the flame as the firefighters take his place, a stern look on his face as he is fed up with the loss of his town. One of his officers approach him. Officer Mort, when's the last time you got some rest? We've got it covered here. Let fire and rescue do their thing. Del B. Scott, is that a joke? My entire town has gone up in ash. Every second I rest, another fire is starting. Officer Mort, it's not just your town. Last I checked, I was born here, same as you. Plus, you look like shit, and Tish keeps calling me, asking me to send you home. Panel 2. The 2 officers approach Scott's police unit. Del B. Scott, every other night, 1:30 on the dot. No loss of life and no trace of arson. Something is going on here, Mort, and I'm going to find out what it is. Panel 3. Delby gets into his police cruiser. Mort leans down into the window. Officer Mort, and you will, but you don't got to do it alone. Get this. Guys down in forensics said it's almost like these fires started out of thin air. Word they used was spontaneous combustion. Delby Scott says. The thing about combustions, though, Mort, is it's just like any other crime. There's always a source. Panel 4, Delby drives off as Mort watches. Caption, and the source is the hardest thing to find. And that's where we ended today. But now we're getting back into our exercise chat. And if you want to be a part of this, feel free. Now, before we get into the game, our class had an assignment where they were supposed to write out the next 2 pages. And whoever had the best pages would be how we continued. But before we get into that, let's get into the chat and figure out what's going on. Nothing. You said, hold on one second, friends. We got 183, almost at 190. Let's get to 190, guys. We're getting into writing the script. Okay. So I'm going to call on you. You're going to try to share your screen, and we are going to look at your script. Make sure you have copied and pasted what we have. So how it should read is page 1, 2. When you share your screen and on your document, how it should read is the pages that we wrote and your page 4 and 5. That way we can do a quick screen. All right. So because Francis is so excited and reluctant, we're going to start with him. Francis, go ahead. Oh, I see it. So let's pull you up here. And let's kind of talk about what it is I'm looking for. Those in the chat. One of the things you have to do as a comic book writer is feel the pacing. Know your characters. Know your story. Guys, go on mute until it's time to talk. Anybody who's not on mute. Know your characters, and that way it's not an echo. Know your characters, know your story, and know your pacing. What I'm looking for when we select these next 2 pages is common sense. Does it flow like a river? The story has to flow like an uninterrupted river. Is it the same theme? If you have dialogue, are you keeping up with the characters we've established? It's kind of like that game in that improv game we all used to do as kids. And if you've ever been in drama, if I say that the school bus is red, you then don't go back and say, no, it's yellow. You follow that the school bus is red, and then you create your own story on the way. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Okay. So let's get into that. Francis, the floor is yours. Let's go ahead and read this. I'm going to stop or interject. And notice, guys, look at his script. It does not look like mine. It follows the same comic book format, industry standard format. Yes, it does. But it doesn't look like mine. And like I said, a comic book script is like a tiger stripe or a fingerprint. No 2 are the same. Francis, the floor is yours, sir.
All right, so just a quick summary of where this is going. I wanted to use page 4 as a quick little investigation to show Delby's character and his won't stop attitude towards this investigation, and then page 5 is a domestic chat that he has with his wife the next morning, so he doesn't go home. But basically, begin montage of Sheriff Delby's investigation. He checks with the forensic investigator. Delby, caption 2:15 a.m. I follow up with forensics personally, digging for more. He had nothing for me. Spontaneous combustion without a source, he kept saying. Shelby checks with evidence. Delby checks with evidence. They show him the types of flamethrowers that can cause this type of fire. But that couldn't be right. 2:48, I check in with evidence. See what tools have been used in the past for these types of burns. Small time they showed me was a flamethrower. Panel 3, Delby questions a bleary-eyed Carmichael in the department door, the latter dressed in his PJs. Carmichael's apartment is built into the side of his hardware store. In the window of his store perch several heavy-duty tools, including a chainsaw. Delby, hold on, I gotta go full screen for a second. Oh, shit. Delby. That brings me to Carmichael's door at 4:30 a.m. He owns the only local hardware store in town that can get their hands on flamethrowers legally. Delby sits with a takeout cup of coffee on his dash, looking over the town from a hill as he contemplates the case. The horizon brightens with oranges and purples as the sun begins to rise. He had jack squat for me. Just that whoever is making those fires, they weren't getting supplies from him or any of his buddies. As much as I didn't want to, I believed him. Panel 5. As sunlight bathes the suburban neighborhood, Sheriff Delby shambles from his patrol car to the front door of his home, which brought me to my front doorstep at 5:30 a.m. with nothing to show for a night of running around town. At least I could finally get some shut eye. And before he can grasp the door handle, Delby jolts as Tish swings the door open, glaring into his soul. She wears a nurse shirt and slacks. His hand squeezes his cup of coffee, splashing scalding coffee over his knuckles. Where have you been? Shit, Tish. Where are you? Where do you think? The town hall fire. That was 4 hours ago. I needed you here, and you know that. Moving on.
How many pages did you write?
2 pages. So page 5 is the next one.
Yep, go ahead.
All right, cool. Page 5, panel 1. W fires back a retort as he takes his crushed cup in his other hand and shakes his burnt hand dry. Tish crosses her arms.
Scroll up, Francis, so we can see it.
Yeah.
Keep scrolling.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me just read this last bit. Yeah, Tish impressively taking up the door. Last I checked, you were sleeping when I left. Don't get smart with me. I meant this morning when I woke up. We need to discuss Marcus's new FRIEND. Delby glances up, confusion and exhaustion permeating his gaze. Friend? What new? Oh, Mulberry boy. They're friends? Yes, at least I think. Marcus doesn't have nearly enough friends, so it's hard to tell. Which is why I wanted to talk. Marcus wants to have a sleepover at the Mulberry's house. Well, we would need to talk about. Tish throws her hands up with exasperation. Delby grows frustrated as he cuts in with a rebuttal. Yes, Delby, we need to talk about a lot of things, but right now, I need to get Marcus to school and rush to the hospital before I'm late. If you had just been here, Tish, I am trying my best, but this arsonist is running loose, and Marcus, Mom, Dad, panel 4. Delby and Tish turn to find Marcus standing at the end of the entry hall, dressed and carrying his backpack. I'm ready for school. Delby motions to Marcus to call him before Tish can protest. She responds with a huff, but appreciates Delby's sentiment. Delby, come on, champ. You're riding with me today. Yay! What? Delby, it's fine, Tish. I'll get my nap in before lunch. I'll get nap in before lunch shift. Besides, this way you can make it to your shift on time. You're lucky you look good in that uniform. Delby parks his squad car alongside sidewalk lined. Okay, sorry. Delby parks his squad car along the sidewalk, lined with sedans and soccer mom vans on either side. The backdrop consists of a makeshift elementary school, which was burned down in the montage earlier, serving as the substitute while the actual building is being recovered. A dozen or so tents sit tall along the length of the soccer field behind the school. Teachers welcome lines of students pouring out of the cars from the sidewalk. The sedan in front of the Delby's car belongs to the Mulberry family. Mr. Mulberry dropping his son off, Isaac. And the way I was angling for this was Isaac would be the fire starter. So, like, Marcus never running the fire starter. And Delby has his captain response to Tish's counter. I guess I am, aren't I? A lucky man.
All right, I am going to reserve judgment for later, but I can tell you right now, Francis, that was very good. Everything I was looking for, you hit on, and let me talk about it. You continued on with Delby's characterization, this country almost hick accent and southern mannerisms and speech. You brought in Tish. You gave more background for Tish that we mentioned earlier. You also did an interesting take where you took Delby's son and made him the playmate of the boy we introduced in the first panel, which makes this entire issue super close to home to Delby. So this is the kind of things I'm looking for when you're writing your comic script, when you are trying to sell a story. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. We are going to move on with you, Cardi. Go ahead and share your screen, and we will put it up on the on on the screen. Guys, we are at 190. We want to hit 200 before the end of the night. When it's time to start back writing, guys, we want you in the chat to help us as well. The boys want your help, and so do I. So, Cardi, let's make sure we get to 290 right now. If you are watching from X, please do us a favor and go ahead and share, retweet, quote the tweet, and get people in here. If you are on YouTube, please do the same. Share, like, subscribe. Guys, we really appreciate it. 190 tonight was insane. We have an hour left of the program. So please stick with us. You're going to, hopefully you've already kind of seen how a comic book script is formatted, but we will go in and I will take over after the boys have done their things.
Hey, Tyler, before he goes, can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Marcel.
I didn't write it on this. I didn't write it that way. I wrote it through my phone on my notes. I couldn't. My laptop wouldn't let me edit on mine's. Is that okay for today?
Yeah, can you? Or how are you going to? Do you have you have Francis' number, right?
Yeah. I got it.
Can you copy? Francis? Can you do me a favor while we listen to Cardi's?
Yeah, get you ready to go.
Yeah, well, Marcel is going to copy and paste from his notes. He's going to send it to you, and you just plop it on the Word doc for me.
Okay, I'll send it to you in the chat.
Don't correct it. Don't put it in because
I will not edit.
Yes, there still should be some kind of formatting there, Marcel. But yes, do that now, and then Cardi will go ahead with you. Cardi, are you sharing your screen yet?
Yeah, I'm trying to share it now. It seems like it doesn't want me to share.
Is it you right here? No, that's not you.
Trying to put it in there.
There's like an upload PDF option, I think. That is what I use.
Well, you should be able to share though. You can't. You guys are not. You can't share your screen.
No, it says slides, PDFs. Let me see.
Oh, I see.
Also, the Starbucks I'm at is shutting down, so I'm about to be going mobile.
Heard.
Awesome. It's not letting me share this screen.
There, so after image file, it doesn't say share screen. Right under image file.
No, like I'm on the present. Then it said, "Oh, not present, but present." Slides, PDF, video, image file, share screen, and then it just
hit share screen. And then pull up that, hit share screen, and it's going to ask you what you want to share. Make sure your doc is opened. Look at me talking like I had it figured out earlier. You're going to make sure your doc is opened, and you got to pull it up, and it's going to come up on my screen with permission. Then I'm going to pull it up.
All right, because it's not. Is that? Can you see it? Because it's not giving me the option.
Let's go to Earl, and then we'll come back. Earl, can you share that screen? Guys, have that document up and ready. That way we can put it up there.
Okay, so quick question. So all we have to do is select present on our StreamYard, correct?
Yeah, so you're gonna yeah. Let me share my screen.
Share screen.
Let me stop sharing. Then let me share this. So here's how. So I'm sharing my thing now. Oh, that looks horrible. But here's how you're gonna do that. You should be clicking on this TV with the plus. Going to share screen. It'll open up a window where it says what you want to share, and you are going to share it that way.
Okay, one second.
Take your time, and if anybody can pull up their, where's Charleston? Man, I didn't even have Charleston on the stage, cuz. My bad, Charleston.
You're good. I left by accident.
Oh man, my bad. See, I'm tripping. I'm tripping, guys. We're at 191. We need to get to 200. We got to get to 200 people in here so we can write these comic scripts. I need everybody writing comic scripts every day. We need to be pumping out these comic scripts. Next stream, we're going to talk about how to find your artist and Kickstarter, how to find your art team and Kickstarter. There are many ways, but I'm going to show you the right way because I know comics.
Okay, so I have it on a Word doc, but I'm trying to, I'm selecting share screen, but I don't see it on window or entire screen. Or I'm using Chrome as well. So
send me the, email me that. Yeah, email me the doc. Email it to me.
Sure.
Francis. No. Yeah, he's got it. Francis got to get out of there. Francis, they're kicking you out, boy. Earl.
Got like 10 minutes.
Earl, you might as well head out now, Francis.
Yes, I can email it to you.
Earl, email it to me. Cardi, email it to me. Francis, email me Marcel. So go ahead and copy and paste Marcel's, and then email me the doc, and then you'll head out and come back in when you can. Guys, if you're still here with us, man, we really appreciate you. Me and the boys really appreciate it. Make sure wherever you are. Make sure wherever you are. Hold up. Make sure wherever you are liking the live. Make sure wherever you are sharing the live. Make sure wherever you are commenting on the live. This goes to show that Facebook, we have no one from Facebook. We have one person from Twitch, which is pretty sick. I'm not going to lie, because Twitch is very hard to get into. And that's one person.
All right, I just sent.
You want me to email my my notes to you?
No. Francis is put it in a doc, and he's going to email me the doc.
Okay.
I'm actually going to shoot you screenshots because he has a Samsung, or I have a Samsung. He has an Apple, and the compatibility there isn't really working. So
he has a Samsung. Boo.
And I just emailed that.
No, Samsung dope. I'm just talking shit. Samsung dope.
Everybody email theirs?
I did.
all right, Tyler, I just emailed you Marcel's screenshot notes. It should be in order.
Oh, shoot. No, it's not you guys. It's something that I did. So far, I only have Earl's. Oh, Lord, Earl, I saw something already that looked good, player.
Thank you. I hope so.
All right, let me send it over here. Let's check it out. This is ladies' night, and I feel all right. This is ladies' night. All right, so you are going to, when I share it, Earl, you're going to take over. I'm going to doom scroll, and you are going to, man, I knew y'all know how to share y'all screen. Y'all just wanted me to do that shit. I ain't slick, boy. Come on now. Can we all see Earl's script, everybody?
All right.
All right, Earl, you're up.
All right. So just to jump right into it. So yeah, as we kind of already discussed earlier, it was a lot of good story from earlier. So I tried my best to see if I could build off of that. So I do remember previously we did mention there was a time lapse before. So I kind of built upon that and started with caption 2 weeks ago, and then started off. I think you may need to not zoom in, but zoom out because it's kind of cutting off just a bit.
Mm-hmm. Surely occur.
Okay, perfect. So moving forward, yes, I started with panel 1. A psychiatric nurse grabs her bag and begins to walk out of a room into a hallway to exit a medical facility. Prior to leaving, she hears faint sobbing and stumbles upon an unstable worker. The nurse, she replies, excuse me, are you okay? We're closed for the evening. Faintly, the worker replies, I lost a kid. The nurse, sir? The worker, aggravated, launches towards the woman and grapples her against the wall, yelling and threatens her life by taking a knife off one of the nearby tables and raises it in her face. The worker, I said I lost him. What are you doing? Stop. The worker sobs, they're going to take my daughter away. The nurse replies, please don't kill me. I work here, sir. We can fix this. Next panel, the conflict intensifies with the man succumbing to his negative thoughts, statements, becoming increasingly angry. The worker, shut up. You wouldn't even be able to bear the horror behind this place. Then the nurse replies, what? Let me help you. What was his name? Who are you talking about? Who are they? It doesn't matter. They won't trust me after this. The nurse, you're hurting me. Let go. I can't breathe. The worker, typical broad, always thinking about your fucking self. What about me? What about me and mine? Who's going to help me when they find out he's gone? Sir. And panel 4, unhinged, the man presses the knife closer towards the nurse's neck while tightening his grasp, eyeing her. Worker, I'm sorry. Maybe if they take you instead, they'll forget about him. And then the next page, page 5, a police cruiser in panel 1 can be seen parking hard and rugged against the entrance of the facility. Panel 2, the public defender gets out and slams the door and rushes quickly out the vehicle, looking around, and is directed by some of the bystanders. Bystander number 1, they're in there. I think he's going to kill her. Bystander number 2, I snuck out from the back. He has a knife. Panel 3, the nurse's eyes with a tear running down. Caption, here we go. Panel 4, the worker slings the woman in the opposite direction of the hall while she panics and pleads on the ground as he stands over her. The worker, go. The nurse, gas, please, I have a family. The worker replies, get up. Panel 5, the worker grabs the woman by her collar, hair, and starts dragging her en route to an exit. Page 6, panel 6, or panel 1. 2 doors crash open to reveal Sheriff Delby Scott with a raised gun addressing the criminal. Sheriff Delby Scott. Freeze! Put her down now. Panel 7, close shot, the profile of the worker along by the sheriff. Panel 8, medium shot, the knife still raised while holding the nurse, who has a look of relief on her face. Caption, don't do this. Panel 9, Delby's finger on the trigger. Panel 10, the worker ignores his warning with the nurse still in hand and continues to walk. Panel 11, Sheriff Scott fires his gun at the man. Page 7, the worker's head explodes. And panel 8, the worker falls to the ground and dies. Panel 12, Scott rushes over to the horrified nurse, and within just a couple moments, he next hears a swing back from outside with the bystanders. Sheriff Scott, did he hurt? Page 13, Sheriff Scott dashes back outside to see a young boy lying on the ground. It's kind of covering up. I can't see it. Lying on the ground, foaming at the mouth with dirt all over their body with nothing on but a medical gown. And I ended it there. I kind of like playing with just the aspect of giving a little bit of context, considering how much things were kind of weaved together initially. So,
and kind of, because there's a lot happening here. I love you expanded on the lore. Now I want to know what's going on at this psychiatric ward and how the boy is connected. But it kind of explained to me the angle that you were going for, and then tell us kind of what is happening. Guys, we're at 197. We're almost at 200 people in the live. Please like, share, retweet. We are learning how to write a comic book script. If you are a comic book creator and you want to know how to format your own comic book script, this is the live stream for you. So Earl, real quick, tell us kind of spoil it for us. That way we kind of can know what you were going for.
So, like I said, I was trying to build off of like the time that was referenced in the initial pages. So I kind of felt like with everything kind of built up in the story, it would be kind of nice to kind of give like the audience some context, a little piece of context to what even happened that might have started this. So I did think, I'll be honest too, as I was writing this, I sat down, I think one night, but I couldn't get it together with like putting down like the right stuff I thought would kind of build off of it. So I still kind of didn't know how the fires were going to come down. So just to be honest, so I just said I could kind of still play with the story in a way where it could still allude to where that would be going to by setting up a medical facility where potentially maybe the boy got experimented on.
Love
somehow.
it. Say less. Say less. That's what
That's dope.
Go ahead.
Right. And from there, I did think the first page was kind of cool because
some Stranger Things type of thing.
Right. And with the dude, not a major character, but he kind of opens the door to what else, happened. And he's kind of like teasing like all these different things, and it's a lot of questions.
Yeah, he's terrified. He's terrified. Clearly, he's seen things. Not even just what we're going to get into with the boy, but this guy has seen things. He obviously knows what's going on in the psych ward. Exceptional.
That's dope.
Great job, bro. Great job. Great job. Love it. That's two for two right now. This is going to be very hard for which script we stick with. Let's go ahead and go on to let's go ahead and go with Marcel. Go back to Marcel. Francis left already?
Yeah. I can read it from my phone too. So as much as you have it on screen, I'll read
there
it.
There he is.
Francis, did you email Marcel's script?
I sent the screenshots vis-a-vis email. It should be in the same chat we had. It might be in a different one. Hold on. But if Marcel has them, he could probably shoot them over your way too. Sorry about that.
No, you're good, brother. Yeah,
I'll send it to you now.
Yeah, go ahead and send it to me, Marcel.
What's the info
at godhoodcomics.com.
The info?
Yep, info at godhoodcomics.com. Guys, we're at 197. We need to get to 200. Please share the live. Please share the live stream. If you are on all of my people are on X. Man, let me tell you something. Tomorrow, I want all of my people on X. Like, I need to talk to y'all. I need to know who y'all are. Because that's insane. Which is crazy. Like, you can't even see. I can't even see what my X people are saying from StreamYard. But if I'm sure I can go to. We got to fix that. Give me a second, guys. I'm about to see. But I'm sure I can go to.
I just sent it to email.
All right.
Let me go ahead and start reading it.
No, I'm
At
gonna
least.
pull it up first.
Okay.
That way, my boys in the chat can see what's going on.
I'll do it the proper way. I just couldn't pull it up. I think my laptop was messed up. So
Are you sending from Jamal Collins?
yeah, that's my name. My middle name is Marcel. So don't tell nobody.
It's not letting me do it.
Let me try one more time. I can share it with you.
Yeah, share it with me. We're gonna go ahead and pull up.
What's the number? I thought I had the numbers.
678-815-7774.
678. Say it again.
815-7774. Let's go ahead and get
I just sent it to
into.
you.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and maneuver to Charleston real quick. Because we got his. Let me share my screen. Charleston, soon as the screen is up, you are go. You are go. All right, Charleston. Let's get it.
Okay. Panel 1, returning back to the boys' bedroom, still having night terrors, sweat and looming more and more. Caption, why? Establishing shot, a nightmare, apocalyptic hellscape, the entire city burning, people screaming. Panel 3, the boy on his knees on the ground, facing towards a monstrous shadow figure standing before him, the chaos swarming around them. The boy, why can you leave me alone? The hellish shadowy monster. You know why, boy. You brought this beyond yourself. Panel 4, close up, the boy swelling up because of the heat. I said, I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean for it to happen. The monster chuckled. If that was true, you wouldn't be here. Page 5, panel 1. The boy still on his knees, eyes closed, covering his ears from the screams. The boy, please. The caption with a fainted voice. Max. Panel 2, a closer look with the boy. Please. Please. Captioned. Caption with the voice getting louder. Max. Honey. Max. Max. Panel 3. It's daytime. The boy, Max, in Max's bedroom. His eyes shot open and his parents and his pajamas drenched in sweat. Max, huh? And then panel 4, the relieved woman, who we are assuming is mother, sitting on his bed right next to him. It happened again? Max, yeah. And then the woman sighs and says, I'm sorry, baby. And that's all I made.
All right. Now, before we get into the synopsis, remember that when Max's mom is talking, you need to put that. So just like you're putting Max, yeah, that should be Max's mother, It happened again. It should be Max's mother. I'm sorry, baby. So right here it should have said panel 4, relieved woman sitting on Max's bed right next to him as she sighs. Max's mom. It happened again. Max. Yeah. Max's mom. I'm sorry, baby. Got it?
Yeah.
All right. Now tell us about what your idea was, what you were going for. Guys, we're at 210 on this script writing, comic book script writing format, Comic Creators live stream. Make sure you guys are following us at Godhood Comics across multiple platforms. If you are interested in writing comics, this live is for you. Like, retweet, share, send it to somebody who you know, because we're getting into comics. Go ahead, Charleston, and let us know kind of what you were going with this script.
So what I was going for from last time is that we go back to the boy, and for background story, I'm thinking that the boy was cursed by a completely different entity, a supernatural entity, due to something that he did. I was theorizing that the boy was a bully. He did something like horribly wrong, and the demon is the demon or a monster that hasn't figured out yet is punishing him for it, and the family don't know what to do with that because obviously they've never been in this situation before. But I was thinking that the boy was a very terrible person before he had this curse, and now he's learning to be better because of it, and also obviously trying to get the curse lifted by proving it to the monster.
Okay, good. We are going to. I love the angle with going back to the boy in his the night terrors that we established already. I would have waited on the reveal of the monster. I would have used that time to have. I love how the mom came and woke him up. To delve in that relationship. I love how you established that it happened again. I would have delved more into the lore of the boy before we revealed what it was that this was that was happening. But great play on and building the lore. So good job.
Thank you.
Great job. Let's close that window. Let's close this window. Great work, guys. Very impressed. All right, so next we are going to go with my boy, Marcel.
Okay, so for me, I wanted to kind of establish a relationship throughout the town, but also establish relationship with the family, same way that kind of like Earl does. So mine starts off, since it's in Charleston, I named it Charlie's Diner 2 weeks earlier. This is a morning, this is right at sunrise. This is when Officer Scott kind of gets his day going. So it says Officer Scott sitting at the breakfast bar. Dot a busy morning, third seat from the right. Green, I pictured in my head green high seats, green bar in front of a front profile of Officer Scott in uniform. Panel 3 would be Officer Scott starts saying the Lord's Prayer. I just want to kind of establish the small town of him saying his prayers, and he's going out being a cop. I wanted to kind of say that, so I wrote this the Lord's Prayer in the middle of that. Off which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. That kingdom come, the whole thing.
Well, go ahead and
Establish.
read everything,
Okay.
Marcel, and then we're going to go back and talk about it.
Okay. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us our daily bread, and forgive us our trespass. And that's when it gets cut off. Panel 4, waitress pushes the door open with her back turned, order in hand. Panel 5, sits in gently in front of Officer Scott. Um, Officer Scott, how'd you know I was here? Waitress, Dale, you've been coming here since we were kids. Out of 22 items, you only order a couple of things. The steak well done, pancakes with 2 strawberries, bacon, eggs, and coffee dark. Panel 6, shot I think I wrote that right. I wrote that backwards.
That's all right.
Shot of the food on the table being pancakes, bacon, eggs, but also a side of sliced apples. And again, I'm just trying to establish the relationship. Officer Scott, I don't like apples, Darla. Waitress Darla, well, today you do. So finish your food and say your prayers. She already heard. I'm pretty much saying his prayers. Page 5, Dale and Darla smile at each other. Long stare shows they have a close relationship between them. Panel 1, Darling heads to the back, heads to the door to the office. And then Darla, now going on. I'll be back until Sandra gets here. She'll probably be late, but I got work to do. Holler at me. Panel 2. I meant to put Dale. I don't know why I put Jed. I meant to say.
That's all right. But we right here it should be in panel 1. You didn't have panel 1 here.
Oh, okay. Um, Dale Scott starts to eat his food. Panel 3. A family of 3 starts to walk in suspiciously and whispering to each other, sits in the seats right behind Officer Scott. Man, I really don't. Man, I really don't have an appetite. Woman, you haven't eaten since we left. Son, mom, where we gonna stay next? I'm still tired. Panel 4, officer tries to mind his own business by eating his food and drinking his coffee, pulls his phone out and sees an article that says big fire, small town. Um, Page 6, panel 1, Officer Scott leaves a hefty tip on the table and walks over to the family's table. Officer Scott, the town next to Charleston would be Newberry. I looked that up myself. Newberry, a beautiful place, and I'm sorry to hear about your loss. Mother, thank you. Thank you, officer. We gladly appreciate it. Officer Scott, you know where you're headed. Father, no, not really. Our family is back to this and we're running out of money. The bank back in Newberry burnt down also. Panel 2, little boy looks at the officer and smiles. Officer Scott yells Darla's name while looking at the boy. Darla, yes. Make sure the father answers quickly, frantically. Goodman, I'm Kyle. This is my wife, Sandra, and our son, Henry. Boy, no, it's not. It's Sandra. You can't tell everybody you're a superhero. Um, Panel 3, a small awkward silence happens between the officer and the family, all 3 of them in the panel. Panel 4, Darla opens the door opens the door with a little bit of frustration. Darla, what is it, Dale? That's what I meant to write, but I was kind of writing too fast. Officer Scott, make sure the Goodman's meal is on my tab. Darla, you're lucky I love you. I kind of just kept going. Page 7, Sandra, thank you, sir. We'll find a way to pay you back. Officer Scott, we don't worry about that down here. So don't mention it again. And when you get done we get done with your food, come down to the office so we can get you somewhere to stay. Kyle, yes, sir. Panel 6, Dale's police scanner on his hip goes off loudly. Police scanner, we have a 1075 at Charlie's gas station, active fire north of Clemson. Scott, Officer Scott, make sure you do that later. Make that for later, brother. Make that for later. Kyle, yes, sir. Thank you. Henry smiles at Dale and leaves. I wanted to write a little bit more, but that was kind of where I wanted to establish somewhat of a relationship between them.
So
A little
tell
bit.
me, kind of tell me about what's happening in this scene. Who is the
Sure.
family? I'm assuming the family is the boy's family.
Yeah, this is the boys' family. They come into town from this town right next to them because they just left there. And when they came over to them, it's early in the morning, and they're sitting trying to just grab themselves a meal, but they run into Officer Scott, and Officer Scott, being a Christian man and being a good man, he kind of trusted them a little bit too early in this situation. Offers them a home, offers them a meal, and then establishing that they just set a fire at the gas station,
What
not on
time? What
purpose.
what time is it right now while they're at the diner?
It's sunrise, so it's early.
So what time did we establish already? So in our lore, what time did we establish that these fires happen?
Well, this is 2 weeks prior. I have it 2 weeks prior, so I did two
Right,
weeks
but
flashback.
but still, when these fires start, what time do we established that they always start?
1:30.
1:30 a.m. And that's
Mm,
going to be whether it's previous or whether it's beyond or whether it's present or whether it's future. These
okay.
fires always start at 1:30 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Okay.
And
I
then
remember that.
another thing is uh, very much like the setting. I love that this is 2 weeks earlier, guys. If you read anything that any of my comics, I am a sucker for flashbacks. I always believe in showing, don't tell. Flashbacks are the best way to show and not to tell. It's easier to say, yeah, 2 weeks ago I got shot. It's amazing to open up with the scene of him getting shot. So I love what you and Earl did with 2 weeks earlier. I love that this is before the fire has come to where Scott is, and then we have this kind of weird looking family who are essentially getting ready to destroy Scott's town,
Hmm.
so an amazing setup. Again, pay attention to the pacing. Make sure
Hmm.
you are uh, less is for how we've established when you said you've established this as a mysterious family, but with
Hmm.
how they're going on, it doesn't they're given too much,
Well,
right?
the name parts. The reason another thing that I wanted to put in there is when he said, "No, it's not. My name is," and she cuts him off and says, "You can't tell everybody you're a superhero." He was going to say their real names.
Oh no, I get that. No, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I would have had I would have. This was a chance for us to really, for you to really showcase what the hell that family had been through, right?
Hmm.
And for them, it's they don't want any interaction. But with Delby Scott being the good Samaritan townsperson he is, he's not making that an option. But for them, it would have been more like the father would have been, we're good. The mom would have been, thank you, but for me, the son would have been so traumatized. So it's all about kind of weaving and webbing those,
Hmm.
because this is someone who knows what's going on. He's having these night terrors, but I love this setup. Great work, guys. You guys have done better than I would have expected for us, guys. We're at 226. Um, uh, This is exceptional. Very impressed. Very impressed. All right. So let's stop that share. And again, you guys did that. No cap. You did that. Um, who is next? We've done Cardi. You went already? Yeah, Cardi trying to y'all see Cardi trying to sneak in the background, right? I want everybody to take note. Yeah, so Cardi's our last guy. You see, Cardi is trying to sneak. There's two things that Cardi's trying to do right now, and I want everybody to take note. He's either saying, "Hey," you need to save the best for last, or he's saying, maybe he's so intrigued by what Marcel just did, he's going to forget about me. Cardi, that's not going to happen. We've got you right now. We're going to get you pulled up, and you're going to share with the rest of the class because this is what we do. So let's get to Cardi. Let's pull Cardi up. And guys, I promise you, despite what you think, he is a good guy. Spam good guy Cardi in chat. Great, seriously, guys, great job. Super, super impressed. I did not expect you guys. Speaking of that, Francis, go ahead and email me yours as well. Please, 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 please. All right. So next, we're going to share Cardi. What are you doing? Guys, we got the people in. We got everybody here. We love it. We love it. Let me make sure we got the right one, though. There we are. Okay. That's what we're going to share. Guys, we got 232 people in here. I love it. You're such a freaking girl. I love it. All right. Charleston. I said Charleston. Cardi even got us trying to call somebody else's name. Cardi, you are in the stage and you are up, good sir. Go ahead and let us know what's going on here.
All right. So my page 4 starts out with panel 1, a news anchor van pulls up to the scene, missing Delby by some minutes. My panel 2 is a black hair Caucasian woman and a husky white man with the camera exit the van. And her name is, I'm gonna name her Skeeves. God damn it, we miss Delby. And her cameraman name is Lewis. How do you know? Skeeves, because Mort is here looking lost. Panel 3, Mort skis are talking while the firemen behind them are putting out the remaining fires. Skis, Mort, so you have anything to say regarding the recent random fires that's been happening in the city? Mort, nothing yet, Miss Skis. We are working diligently to find the source of the fire, but I am sure you won't report that because you love to report about what we aren't doing. Skis, here we go. And then panel 3, an officer approaches Mort while he's still talking to Skis. Let's just call her Officer Shelley. Mort, I believe we have found something. Found something, sir. And right there, that kills that page. That's the end of that page. And then we go back to Delby and page 5, panel 1, a close-up shot in his car in the garage. Delby arrives home. Delby's talking to herself. Come on, Delby. What is the source?
No. Say it how it is. Delby,
come on,
Delby. What the source is?
Come on, Delby. What the source is?
I just playing, man.
And then panel 2, mid shot, Delby enters his home with his wife waiting on him in the kitchen. She looks angry. And Delby says, well, look who's up. And Tish is like, stop messing with me, Del. You knew I was up. I know Mort told you. Del, and this is Delby. What's up, Tish? You know how this arson case has been beating me up. Tish is like, I understand, but don't forget you have a family at home, Del. And then panel 3, Tish hands Del his dinner from out the fridge, and Del is sitting at the island. Tish says, so tell me what's stomping you about this case? And Del says, you sure you want in on this? Because it could drive you crazy. And Tish is like, you forgot I used to be on the force. Tell me what you got. And that cuts that. And that's because I used the less is more method with that, because I just envisioned them at the bar and her and Del just going over what Del knows. And I also thought it would be pretty cool to put her on the force with him. like she used to be on the force with him. So I thought that'd be a cool little connection that they have, even though because she should know how hard he works. So that's why she didn't really give him too much fuss about it, and that's how she also knows more.
Okay, and explain, kind of explain why you went with this. And I know this is kind of more easier to understand why you went with this and kind of what's going on overall the scene. First of all, love the addition of the news team. Brings back Scream vibe, scary movie. Gail Hailstorm here. Um,
Yeah.
so love that. Actually, I think this is that we'll stop there. I'll say this: there are two ways I would have done page 5 and page 4 and page 5. There are two ways, and I'm happy to announce that after one session with you guys, all of you hit on the two ways I would have went with page 4 and 5. Okay, and that first way is a flashback.
I knew you was gonna say that.
So, two of you, I think Earl and Marcel, right?
Yeah.
Earl and Marcel did something I would have done. Immediately after, you're revealing more as you go along, and your story should flow over the river. We already established there's a boy. We already established that this boy sets fires. We already established that these fires are in Delby Scott's town and he's in charge. And naturally, I would have went back and revealed some things. You can reveal more about the boy. You can reveal more about the town. And you can reveal more about Delby Scott. So excellent. The second way I would have gone is one thing Mort mentions to Scott is Tish. I would have followed Scott home and introduced Tish. And Francis and Cardi did that.
I feel like a lot of this, if you, I mean, I know we're all, trying to figure out what all fits, but I feel like a lot of it can fit if you just kind of worked it a certain way. A lot of it can, like what Francis did, what Charizard did, what I did. I think a lot of it's a lot of good material.
Yeah, it's a lot of great material. I don't think it all can fit in there, and that's okay.
Not all of it, but like bits and pieces and stuff like that, maybe.
I think we're gonna pick. Let's just pick a script, and then we will go from there. I'm gonna pick my favorite. And actually, right now, chat, if you've been with us since we started continuing the scripts, let's have a vote. Tell us what your favorite script is in the chat. We'll only see if you're on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, unfortunately. I don't know why I can't see X. But let us know between Charleston, Marcel, Francis, Cardi, and Earl, what script was your favorite. Now, give us 5 minutes on that. And if we, don't see anything, then I will go with mine. And we need to hurry up because we've got to start. We need to write 2 pages tonight before we end this screen. We need to write 2 pages tonight. So highly impressed with what you guys came up with. That's something. Oh, I'll show you. What's your favorite script? Great work, guys. Great work. Great work. A couple of things we want to note, a couple of critiques. You have to go along with what we already established. You have to set the tone how we already established it. Charleston, I can tell you, going from how we already established to immediately jumping into a scene where we're practically are in hell, it's not a good a use of pace. And I would have saved that for later on. What we have to do is there's three things really. And Charleston, you did the third thing. It's not the first or second route I would have taken, but you did establish the family. And Marcel, you even did both. You did a flashback and established the family. So all these angles were very good. But if I had to choose, this is why I said, if I had to choose, the best script of tonight would be what Francis sent. I think that is completely flawless. Absolutely flawless. It's exactly what I would have done. First and foremost is I would have followed Delby home. I would have followed Delby home. Because he is at this point now the most interesting character that we have. I would have followed Delby home. And so we are going to use that script, and then we are going to continue from it. Again, we're looking for everything you utilized tonight, everything that we learned on the first stream, and we're going to write the next 2 pages via popcorn, and we will end the stream. All right. And you guys can see now, you guys chat. You're going to be able to see, guys. We got 237 in there. Let's get to 240, 250. Yeah, please like, share, retweet, send it to one of your guys. I know it's late. It's 11 o'clock, but hey, you can it's never too late to get that comic book sauce. Francis, if you're still in chat, we need your script. I need you to email me that script. Well, actually, no, yeah, he. I need you to email me that script, sir. Very good. Very good dialogue, Cardi. Very good dialogue. What the source is, man? Who said that? What the source? Hey, man, these motherfuckers bring. Who said that?
Hey man, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
Cardi say, hey, you know, I'm here in Atlanta. Cardi say, hey man, we got these niggas starting these fires, man. We figure out what this source is, man. Facts. All right, let me pull up this.
My man Delby stressed out over there, man.
Yeah, y'all got Delby stressed. And in fact, everybody had Delby stressed. I'll tell you that right now. Marcel, I really do love that diner scene. There's going to be a way.
It needs to, like you said, I think in that, like you said, less is more. I think a lot of it can be condensed, and I think that's the point of an editor, because I'll sit there and write all day. So I think.
Well, I do want to use it because we are going to need a flashback. I love the idea that Delby met this family before all this happened. We're all going to have our homework, Marcel, but I'm going to give you your own homework because I think that's a scene that we can add later on in the script. Remember, guys, we have 22 pages to go, and it's going to take us a while because we're going to be writing these on stream. Cardi, you had the news team, right?
I did.
Cardi, you had the news team. I do want to, so let me get into what our homework is. Cardi, I need you to delve out who that news team is. I need to know Skeeves and the cameraman, the news channel, their characters, what they are. We're going to keep that aspect. Marcel, we're going to keep your diner scene. This is how it all works out. Marcel, you were right. Marcel, we're going to keep your diner scene. I need you to cut it up, make it more fluid. I need you to cut it down, make it flow more, make it flow better. This family needs to be shaken up. This family needs to read well. Cardi, give me the news team. Earl, Absolutely love the psychiatric ward. We are going to use it. I need to know what's going on here. We are officially going to establish that this boy's power set is from some experimentation. We know that, our readers don't. But that's kind of the backstory we are going to go with. So we're not going to go with any of the things that we said last week. So we are selecting that. So that's how we're all going to play that. Francis, I need that script, player. Francis, you got that script for me, buddy? Francis, like, I won. And sorry, Charleston's. What I need from you is, I love how you brought the mom in. I need you to establish who the parents are, Charleston. I need to know who they are. I need to know where they're from, and I need to know their personalities, because that's how what we're going to use when they appear moving forward. Everybody has their homework. If it's not good next week, we're not going to use it, because we're coming up on our third class, and especially after today, we're going to know how characters and writing and dialogue should be flowing. Where my mentor calls it narrative common sense. Narrative common sense. Okay, before to get started, I need Francis's script. So bear with us, guys. I'm going to take a restroom break real quick, guys. If you have to do the same, go ahead and do that. Let's take a 5-minute break. Chat, go ahead, take a 5-minute break. Chat, if you have to go to the bathroom, get a snack, whatever. We're about to write a script live. Make sure you're here. Also, make sure you're following me at all locations. Ty the Animator on X. Tyler the Animator on TikTok, Godhood Ty on Twitch, Tyler the Animator on YouTube, Godhood Comics, and Tyler the Animator on Instagram. And we're going to be coming back with a lot more comic book creating classes, news, tips, tricks. Next week, we're going to talk about finding your artist and how to make $100,000 making comic books, whether that be through private investors or Kickstarter. I have done both, guys. I have made over $500,000 selling my comic books the last 8 years. So I know how to get to where you are trying to go. Francis, adding Francis to the stage. I'm going to take a break. 5-minute break. If you got to use the bathroom, use the bathroom. Francis, I need that script.
The fuck? Is this over? God damn it.
Yeah, you're the winner. We're going to go with your script.
Over?
And we're gonna,
Are we taking a break? Is that it? Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna email it to me so I can bring it up, copy and paste it on my script, and then we're going to build from yours 2 pages tonight. So we're gonna do pages 6 and 7 together. Be right back, guys. All right, gents, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Francis, make sure you have sent me that script. Thank you so much, Ryan. Enjoy your day. Thank you for coming here. Get some rest, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate you guys. If you're still with us on X, man, you're probably on your phone. If you're on a laptop, that's good, but stay with us. I just at least want you to see how I process a script, how I am writing a script versus how my guys write a script, and the kind of the comfortability of it all, and getting familiar. And listen, practice is gonna make perfect. I already told you, my mentor told me, you are going to be writing like you're drunk, and editing like you're sober. So make sure you are writing something every day. You should be writing every day, my friends and family. You should be writing every day. If you're not writing every day, you're going to have a hard time scaling. You're going to have a hard time growing. And you're going to have a hard time you're gonna have a hard time getting better as a writer, because that's how you know pacing is gonna come naturally, character development is gonna come naturally, dialogue is gonna come naturally. Dialogue is my strength. It's one of the best things that I like doing, writing. So yeah, just make sure you're doing that, and everything should be okay. Waiting for my guys to come in here. We're at 246, guys. Let's see if we can get to 250 tonight. My goal is to 250 tonight. Let's make it happen. Share, retweet. Now, here's another thing, because on X, it says, yeah, guys, go to the page and share the live. Oh, here we go. My eyes, guys, allergies out here in Georgia. The season is changing. My eyes, crazy. Right here, you need to be sharing this. It says there's only 9 retweets and 9 likes. What is that? There's 244 guys in here viewing X. Hit that screen. Matter of fact, right now, I need everybody to go right now. This needs to go. I'm going to keep refreshing this slide. Go here. Go to my page. Click that. Open live video. And hit that right there. Hit that quote. Quote it. Hit that quote. Tell me what's up so I can retweet, shout you out. Hit that quote. Let me check and see if maybe that's why. Oh, guys, we hit 250. We hit 250. We hit 250. It's getting a little dark in here, so let me turn this off. Yeah, it's getting a little dark, so I guess we do need that. All right. $251. Excellent. All right, bringing the boys back in. I need all my boys on stage. Face on stage, please. Get on camera. Matthew, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Francis.
We back.
Francis, real quick, are you not able to send the script?
I am getting to a spot with Wi-Fi, so once I have Wi-Fi, I can send it because it's only on my computer.
Oh, so it's on your computer. Got it. Got it. How far away from you? How far away are you from home?
Probably like, well, home doesn't have Wi-Fi, so I went home for a second. Now I have to go back to this Starbucks that has Wi-Fi, but I can be outside of it and get the Wi-Fi. So I'll just send it real quick. There's a public table.
Okay. Sorry about that, man.
Hey man,
You're good. You're good. I'm honored to be chosen. This is just what
Yeah,
comes
we
with
just
it.
gotta recap and then start writing. Guys, bear with us. What we will do in the meantime, I'm gonna show you guys kind of a sneak peek into what we have coming with the Antagonist issue 8. So we got these pages back today. Super excited. And I want to share it with you.
hey Ransom, make sure you be okay, man. Make sure you drive safe.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Oh yeah, I'm not paying attention at all to you guys. You're good.
Good. Good. Let's share this. Chat, hang on. So here is a scene from issue 8 of The Antagonist. And again, The Antagonist is a series written and created by me. We're up to 7 issues now. The trade paperback actually comes with all 7 issues. If you want to go ahead and go to godhoodcomics.com and download that so you can read it. This The Antagonist is a 150 issue series. We're on issue 8 out of 150. I have written up to issue 67 script wise, and so we're still ongoing. I try to get a script done a day, drunk wise, right? Not editing. And I suggest you doing the same. So as you can see, this opens up in Washington, D.C. And we have our speech bubbles. We've got Liberty Lady. I'm not going to spoil that. We also have Reginald Owens. Liberty Lady says, why exactly am I here, director? Because you can do something no one else can, dear girl. You can inspire. You can make them remember everything we've lost, everything those 2 monsters took from us. I know everything, Dorothy. And what I know now is that you are the only one who can save this country. Do you remember how you felt the moment the lights faded and we all saw that there was no more American? Remember the depression and addiction you suffered later? I remember everything. Just tell me what I have to do. Washington, D.C. Later. Master Whale, sir, it's time for your anxiety medication. Already? I guess time flies when you're having fun, eh, Hendricks? Was that a joke, sir? Lighten up. It's a beautiful morning, and I'm a genius. Do tell, sir. Pops his pill. No water for you then, sir. I've got my water right here. Do you remember my parents' dream, Hendricks? Well, of course, sir. One might be insulted that you dared even ask. Try not to hold it against me, old man. Cheers. If I may be so bold, what might we be celebrating, sir? My father's dream of a fully realized DC is almost here. With these plans, our billion-dollar reconstruction fund, the nation's capital will finally have reached its full potential. We will rebuild the Washington Monument, build new and taller buildings, cleaner hospitals, and provide renewable energy for all. If you haven't realized yet, this is Benjamin Wales, aka the Eagle. He is the analogy of Batman and Bruce Wayne in the Antagonist universe, which just is a spoof of the comic book genre. So you definitely want to check that out. And he's a part of the Americans which is a American themed Justice League analogy, and Liberty Lady is who you just saw is their Wonder Woman. Right, sir. Though I think this conversation is going to have to wait. Hendrix, get down! Throws his little eagle rings. And what do you know? Outside there is Dorothy. Hello, Benjamin. It's been a long time. Now, they haven't seen each other in about 10 years at this point. These things are slower than I remember. No, I'm just older. I'm sorry for the welcoming. Hendrix and I aren't used to getting visitors still. It's good to see you, Dorothy. And back in costume, no less. Yes, about that. And if you have never read The Antagonist, then you know they are old partners of the Americans. And it's about to go down for Destructus and Ultima. All right, enough of that. Let's get into writing this script. I hope we can still see that. Can I do some self-promo for my own Kickstarter? Well, yeah, Matthew. Who else is going to promote you? Guys, if you're not marketing and promoting your work, no one is going to see it. You are your marketer. You are your sales director. You are all of these things, especially if you're a comic bookpreneur, and you are trying to raise funding. You definitely have to do that. Let me know. Francis. Yep, I got it, brother. And Francis, if you want to head out, we want to make sure you get home safe. If you want to head out, I completely understand that as well. So let's go ahead and pull this up. Love and happiness. All right, let's go ahead and copy this. Love and happiness. Excuse me. Jeez, guys. All right, let's get into it, guys. Remember, I need us all awake. I know we've been here for 3 hours. We're going to write 2 pages tonight. We have to do this for our chat. There's 256 people in here who may not know how to write a comic book formatting like we do. So let's dedicate the next 15 minutes to finishing our script so we can end the stream. Yeah. We made 3 hours. We hit 2 of our goals. First it was 100. 3 our goals. First it was 100. Then it was 150. Then it was 250. Now we're at 257. I am excited. Make sure you continue to share the lives. And guys, what did I tell y'all last week? It was going to be like this. You guys are my first class. I told you last week. Now all eyes are on you. Are you, Francis, are you good?
Oh yeah, there's like a security around, so, and it's a public spot. We're good.
Don't let you know I'll fuck them up, man. So let me know.
Let's fucking go.
And I'm
Where'd
there.
you end up going? Where'd you end up going?
Little public plaza just down the street. So
Okay.
it's
Francis, where do you live?
Hollywood, Los Angeles.
Now
But
I
I'm
really
from
got
Tennessee originally.
Yeah, I'm from Tennessee too, man. What part?
Born in Memphis, raised in Nashville.
Nice. Yeah, I was born in Nashville, raised in McMinnville.
Oh, nice. Yeah. My mom used to work in McMinnville for a bit. Doctor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So she can put me back together if I get cut up here.
Joking.
Little subtle flex. Mom was a doctor.
Huge flex. All right, guys. So we know where we last left off. To kind of run it back, we open up with this amazing montage of Delby getting into what we already established is he's a workaholic. We've established that, and what Francis did is build upon that, and we do see that Delby is working right now. So he goes by forensics. They tell him the same thing. This is spontaneous combustions. He checks evidence for the flamethrowers that might have caused the fire. There's no answers there. He checks and he sees the tools. He goes to the hardware store where there may be some tools that can. He's just looking all over the place, right? And then finally, Delby wounds up back in his house. We know Tish has been looking for him all night. This motherfucker's been out all night. He finally comes home and he's late. He's late. Tish was supposed to have been left to drop off the kid, their son, and then she has to get to work. So Delby's doing the same old things. She also wants to update Delby on, and Francis, the Mulberry boy is our boy, right?
That's him, yeah, Isaac Mulberry, the fire starter.
Excellent. And so she also wants to talk about the new friend, Marcus's new friend, which is the Mulberry boy, who is our fire starter. All right, so let's get into it. Let's go to this last scene where it says, panel 6, Delby parks his squad car along the sidewalk lined on either side by civilian sedans and soccer mom vans. The backdrop consists of the makeshift elementary school serving as the substitute while the actual building is being recovered. Because remember, the town, God, I love this, Francis. Remember, the town elementary has burnt down. So now we are holding school somewhere else, some other building. It could be a warehouse, a factory. It could be a clinic or something that's big enough to hold schools, as they do in small towns with natural disasters. Okay. A dozen or so tents sit tall along the length of the soccer field behind. We'll update that to trailers. Because that's what they do, is they bring in those trailers.
Yeah, trailers.
So we'll do tents and trailers. Teachers welcome lines of students pouring out of the cars from the sidewalk. The sedan in front of Delby's car belongs to the Mulberry family. Remember, this is our boy, with Mr. Mulberry dropping off his son, Isaac. Isaac is the fire starter. Delby, I guess I am, aren't I? In response to his wife saying, it looks good in uniform, right, Francis?
Yeah, he's lucky he looks good in uniform.
Good. See, when you write a script, you know everything. All right. Here's the fun part, chat. Page 6. You know how I do my indicators. You may do yours differently. It ain't about you right now. Get it together. All right. Charleston, based on where we at and where we're established, what is the next scene?
I think we cut back to the boy, or we could go back to Deadly's son.
Go back where?
To Deadly's son. Switch the point of view to him. I don't really know.
Let's do it. So, what's this point of view?
Well, he's going to school to meet his new friend, which is a boy. And that's what I got so far.
Good work, Charleston. Good work. So let's lay that out. Let's say We don't want to get to the boring stuff. We only have a limited time to tell a story in a comic book. So we're gonna skip them. We're gonna skip the drop off and all of that. Let's go into. Actually, no. We need to establish that they are friends. Charleston, how do we establish that they are friends right now? Where we're at?
They meet up in the cafeteria or recess.
Nope. Let's do it before that.
Oh, okay.
Let's connect it. Let's connect the dots to Tish, because listen, Francis didn't just show us Tish telling Delby about the new friend for no reason. We've got to follow that up, right?
All right.
What if they're chatting on the way to school?
Yeah, that could work. Or
They could be neighbors walking to the bus stop.
They could be.
Who said that?
Marcel. He could be neighbors walking to the bus stop.
Marcel, we already established that we're at school right now.
Oh, we're at school. My bad.
Yeah. See, this is these are trick questions, but I'll be trying to make sure. That's why I asked when Charleston said we can follow the kid. I was looking to make sure Charleston said that we're at school.
Early. What about early morning? They're walking into school.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Okay, cool. I was just making sure.
They could be in their classroom talking about their new project or whatever.
Why?
Or because they're familiar with each other and already made friends with each other with the other day or the past few weeks. They would obviously pick each other.
What about a school science project?
Stay with us, guys. You're jumping ahead.
Okay.
And they would obviously pick each other because they are familiar with each other. So they would talk about.
Hold on, Charleston. All right. What's that next panel? And in fact, we got to change something right here because we don't want a happy boy. Someone's having night terrors every day. We don't want a happy boy. So let me take that out. All right, where are we at next? Marcel, go ahead and take it over.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Look at this. Watch this. This is the thing. I'm confused. Okay, Marcus Scott. Mulberry boy walks towards us.
So the backtrack, chat, and everybody else, and my boys. Delby got back home from work in the morning time. So from 1:30 a.m. to the time he arrived on the scene till after doing the investigation, all the way. Let's say he got home. The boys in elementary school. Let's say Delby got home. He's been away from home from 1 a.m. to about 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Okay. So right now where we're at is he's dropping his son off at school because Tish was going to be late. So he dropped his son off at school to help Tish out. In doing so, Tish also told him about Marcus's new friend. And so right now, Delpy is seeing Marcus and the Mulberry Boy, who we know is the fire starter, nobody else knows that, walk into the school, the temporary school. So the reception trailer that's going to then lead them into the soccer field. Okay. So what is that next panel? There's two things that I would do.
I'm trying to figure out a way to quickly get the relationship built. So I'm thinking about a conversation about
Absolutely.
like a conversation about something about the new school or something like no, that wouldn't be good. Or the fire. You can talk about the kids are actually talking about the fire, because then you can lead into the little to the Mulberry Boy kind of either isolating himself or expanding too much on what actually happened. That kind of suspicious, so you can go either way. I would probably do that about a conversation about because they could talk about their school and how their school burnt down, just like the courthouse burned down. I think those two can go together. How would that be?
Okay. Where are we at in this next scene?
Walking into school. The two boys are walking into school. Are we already at school?
We're already
Like,
at school.
we're in
So
school.
panel 1 is them walking into school.
Walking into being in the cafeteria probably be the next one then. Being in cafeteria, and then they're talking while they're in line.
Also, maybe like a nice little garnish on the conversation there. It can like start with Marcus asking about the sleepover, or talking about it, and then the Isaac not wanting to do a sleepover until, or like his parents not
Oh, that
wanting
would
to
be
do a
good
sleepover until
too.
the fire stopped.
Yeah. Oh, that would be dope. Yeah.
He's like
Okay.
looking
Yeah.
nervous and shit.
Yeah. Who's sleeping over at whose house? He says it's a sleepover, right?
Yeah, like a little play date sleepover kind of thing.
Who would it be, at Isaac's house, or would it be?
Mm. Oh
Because
yeah, maybe it's not decided yet.
because if you do it at Isaac's house, like if Isaac's like, "Hey, my mom said you
Well,
can
let's
come
stay
sleep over
focused right here, fellas.
Okay, my bad.
So let's say, because we you guys made a good idea, both of you. So let's delve into that. Okay.
Okay. The sleepover is good. I think that will work out. Fires can't start until the fire stop. We can set up the rain idea. About him sleeping over the day it rains. It's supposed to rain in the next couple of days. So if that's the case, maybe you can sleep over my house then. Kind of like I was thinking about that earlier. Like the fires still happen when it rains, so we can set that up now. And kind of, I was also thinking, well, like you said, don't skip ahead. But like, yeah, he can spend the night over when the night that it rains, because possibly it wouldn't be a fire at all.
That could be cool. I know we do establish like the rain stuff in like one of the early panels, right?
Well, we don't establish that it was just this night that it was raining. It doesn't rain every time the fires start. We never established that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So just the opening scene, it was raining. But as far as him starting the fires, it doesn't have to be raining. All right. So what do we say right here, Cardi? Take it over. We've already established that the topic of conversation is going to be about the sleepover that they've been talking about.
So what I would say is, hey Isaac, do you think your parents will allow you to spend the night at my house? this weekend.
Francis, what did we establish regarding the sleepover? It was that Tish is trying to get Delby's input on if it can happen or not, right?
Right, yeah. And maybe in this moment, Marcus could be like acting outside of their jurisdiction. Like he hasn't confirmed it for his place even, but he's like, I could probably convince my parents if you're still down.
And Cardi, what did you say?
They need to decide.
I said Marcus asked Isaac, did he ask his parents about his sleepover?
Let's have Isaac sleep over Delby's house. Delby is a law enforcement officer. I highly believe that he would not let his son do sleepovers outside of him keeping an eye on him. And it also takes Isaac out of familiar territory and puts him right under Delby's nose. It's a narrative play. Everything we do, every decision that we make has to be a narrative play.
Also, I was thinking maybe even with that, if he slept over Isaac's house, it can also cause a sense of guilt with the boy. Kind of makes him always isolated or he wants his friends to come over and stay the night, but the fires always kind of leaves him by himself in this situation. That's what I was kind of thinking.
Or we can circumvent not circumventing that, or we can always have it to where they're talking about who's going to spend the night where. We can throw that actually in here.
Yeah,
like, hey,
that'd be good too.
Do you think we can spend it at your house or my house? And then that way we can bring Delby into play and be and do exactly the same thing Ty was talking about.
But we can also save time on all of that and establish right here that they're talking. This is a conversation that they've had prior, where what we're talking about here, we don't show that on screen, right? So what we're establishing here in panel 2,
they already talked about it.
That they had already talked about it because Marcus is saying, "Hey Isaac, so did you ask your parents about you coming to sleep over this weekend?" Very simple, and you don't have to do all of that. Let's talk about his response, Earl. What is Isaac saying? Now, before you say this, I do want you to go back and read panel 2 because we do describe Isaac here. And now, if we're using our narrative common sense, we're going to go back to our first scene. We're going to think about what Isaac experiences daily, what he has experienced for a while now. And we are going to take that, combine it to how we know he looks now, and we're going to use that to form the character's personality. Everything is a puzzle, and it's our job as the writer to put it together. So what does Isaac say here, Earl?
Okay, and funny question, but I have been making sure I've been like following beat for beat, but we did settle on Isaac being like our guy, our main character.
Yeah, Isaac is the boy who starts the fires in his sleep.
Okay. So, okay, one moment. Trying to think of something.
I think we can put in here.
Hold on, give him some time. Give him some time.
Let him cook.
Come on, Earl.
Trying to think, man.
You done show him how that. Now listen, the sad thing about all of you tonight is you show me that you know how to write, that you're capable of being a good writer. So this is going to get more intense and harder as we go around, because now I know that you guys have the creative prowess. So you should have sent something in bad today. All right. So let's get it, Earl.
Okay, so I guess the first thing that's coming to mind is considering how crazy everything has been recently. Maybe he kind of like stutters as he asks that. It says, huh, like he's kind of in a trance, like a daze, and he's kind of seeing things in his head kind of briefly, and potentially he may say, what are you talking about? Or something like that. And to which Marcus responds, the sleepover. And he's like, oh, I didn't, I'm trying to, what would flow naturally? Um,
I'm going to tell you why I wouldn't do that, Earl, because we haven't established that he's daydreaming. If we would have established that he's daydreaming and seeing images, it would have been right here.
Right.
This is on the dialogue part.
Okay.
So hold that thought because I want you to come back with Marcus. Someone spoke first and I said, let him go. And I think that was you, Cardi, right?
Yeah, that was me.
All right, Cardi,
So
what is Isaac saying here?
in this instance, Isaac says no, he hasn't talked to his parents yet because Isaac is still timid, and in his mind, he I don't want to say he knows that he's been setting the fires, but his parent, like in his mind, his parents is going to tell him no because they know something.
I was literally gonna say something like that.
But I'm coming to you, Marcel, because you did say it earlier.
Mm.
Cardi, perfect. Let's go up. Let's seal the deal here. Let's seal the deal here. Marcel, help him out. What is Isaac gonna say?
Isaac would say, no, I was thinking something like, no, I haven't asked, but they're probably going to say no. Oops, sorry about that. No, but my dad's probably going to say no anyways, with all the
Like
fires
not to
going
get
on.
Yeah.
Perfect. But we've already established that Isaac is a timid boy. And so what we're going to do is say, I don't know. It might not be
A good idea.
a good idea. My parents are kind of strict. We'll do one more line from Marcus right here, and we'll move on to panel 3. Go ahead and tell us what this is, Earl. What is Marcus going to respond here? You got to take us. We're talking through the lens of fourth graders here. Let's say they're in fourth grade. These are little boys. Take yourself out of yourself. A lot of the answers I'm getting from y'all is you're thinking about you and how you come at it. And as a writer, you have to be the murderer. As a writer, you have to be the police officer. As a writer, you have to be the hero. As the writer, you have to be the girlfriend. As the writer, you have to take on it's a hard life, but you have to take on this. So if we're establishing that Isaac is timid, rarely seen smiling, restless, with dark circles around his eyes, how is Marcus?
The opposite. He would have to be the
more
energetic
confident.
one.
He's more confident.
Excellent. I love it when a plan comes together. All right, Earl, all you.
What if he says, what? Come on, man. We've been talking about this for a while.
Excellent. Very simple. Now we've established a Y. All right, we've established a Y. Now we're not done yet with this conversation. We are done with this panel. Now, of course, I already know what I would have this next panel be. Let's see what Charleston. Nope, Francis. Let's see what Francis has to say about this next panel.
Hey, so they were walking through the hallway in the last one. Walking into
Careful,
school.
Francis. Careful, Francis.
Lunch. All right, so let's get them to a lunch table. Let's say they're sitting down. Marcus is like plowing through his lunch while Isaac is timidly poking at it.
I had an idea.
All right, let's get it right here.
I'm gonna go mobile again and head back home real quick.
Okay, do your thing, Francis. Go ahead, Marcel.
I had an idea to have them reference your other comics in a way. Like they talk about how they're gonna dress. I'm gonna dress like this character, I'm gonna dress like this character. Um, and then maybe play it back to um who he would dress like if he were to come. Like how to try to kind of get him into talking about.
I don't think you need it. You don't need it.
You don't need it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe he talks about why he can't come, which is the fires happening and everything like that. He said he couldn't come for that. And telling and then Marcus saying, "Let me talk to your dad. Maybe I can persuade him." And I was thinking maybe doing something like that.
So slow down because you're on to something.
Okay.
He is going to tell him right now. We established this panel while they're sitting at the lunch table. We're going to have Marcus prowl a little bit.
Okay.
But given with your own narrative, Marcus, and how they move around and are using these code names and blase, is Isaac just going to tell him about the fires?
No, that wouldn't make sense.
Right.
I was thinking that too. I thought that in the back of my head too.
Right. He's not just going to tell him about the fires. So Marcus is going to say this because Marcus is the son of the detective. He watches WrestleMania. He's a very outgoing, outspoken boy.
You can also say like your mom and my mom are literally friends.
We haven't established that, and they're not friends.
Well, not the moms, dads. Because I'm going off of the scene that I would have to write with them meeting at the diner because they kind of know each other.
From one interaction.
Well, I'm thinking this. You said 2 weeks up there.
But it's only 2 weeks, so they haven't built this
They
budding
haven't built
friendship.
that friendship.
Yeah, they haven't built a budding friendship in 2 weeks. Certainly not while we've established all these places are burning up. And then we established now Delby's investigation method. He's out all day. He's not building friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
he's not out.
Right, right.
Yeah, he's not out making. He's not out making friends.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
But you see what I mean by that, Marcel? Is that
Yeah.
it's the kind of things you guys need to be thinking about.
You
Narrative.
see it in shows, and then when you think about it and you actually got to write it, you
Exactly.
realize you can do it as just as easy as they can.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And so you've got to make sure your work is narratively sound. Now, guys, we've been running for 3 hours tonight, so we're going to just end it with one page, and then next week we'll continue the script. So let's go ahead and establish. Damn, what I just said what Marcus said, mother. There we go.
I was like, say.
Yeah, like what? All right, Charleston, establishing what Isaac is, who he is, how he is, and what we are and what they are talking about. What is he gonna say next?
I have one. Go ahead.
I think he's still going to be hesitant about it. It's like, I don't know, man. They're hard to they're hard to be persuade because I used to have strict parents too. So
yeah.
Well, it was also like it's like he says, look, it's just not safe. Kind of like make it vague.
Yeah,
That's too plain. I was thinking that too. Okay.
We're talking about a family that don't even give their real names.
Yeah.
One thing about Isaac, and I imagine part of Isaac's misery is not being able to be himself, not being able to get close to anyone. I'm sure across towns they've been multiple Marcuses. So at this point, Isaac is just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. We move a lot. So they want me to just focus
on my school.
On school.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'll take this one.
I guess it's just straight to the point too.
No, this is why he's shoving food down his mouth.
My mom makes it mean.
Already, yes. So I need everybody to read what Marcus just said because this ties in directly to what I would do at the next panel. I need you to pick up what I'm putting down. There are two things I would essentially do here. Cardi, we'll go to Cardi first. We'll go to Earl. Then we'll go to Marcel. So Cardi, right in this situation, what will we do here?
I will put a caption right here. That's exactly what I would do. I just don't know what it would say.
So why would you put it?
Because I feel like this would be a good part for a narrator to pick up the rest of the story to go to the next thing that they're going to be doing.
Okay, think on that. Think on that, Cardi. What say you, sir?
Oh, I already. That was my. I'm the one who did say that.
Oh, my bad, Kari.
Would we?
Earl, hold on. Earl,
Um, so they're still in the calf. Eating and talking. What's gonna happen? Um, the next panel could be the next panel. I feel like with the rhythm of the conversation getting to this point, maybe he could just say, "I gotta go" or something like that.
nope.
I'm not.
Marcel,
No? Okay.
He gets kind of to the point. Look, man, I like you a lot. You're cool. We're friends, but it's just not gonna happen.
anybody else? Look at what I have highlighted. Help him out,
What's the
chat.
worst that can happen? A fire?
Anybody else?
No.
Oh, y'all can't see me. Y'all can't see that highlighted? Yeah, y'all can see it.
Something to do with the fires.
Who said that?
Me.
Who said that?
I did.
Who?
Earl the
Me.
Pearl.
I did.
Thank you, Earl. He says, "What's the worst that can happen?" Well, guess what? We're gonna show him something.
A fire.
So,
I said the same thing.
no. You didn't say it though. You didn't say it.
I know.
Don't
I
take
said
credit.
it. I said
Don't
it.
try
I
to
was
take
like,
credit.
damn, I ain't gonna
Listen,
say it.
that's always Marcel after we come up with something. You know what? I was gonna say that.
Because I know what it is. I have like 4 of them in my head. I'm trying to pick out which one I want to use.
I just playing with Marcel. That's what Marcel. Every time we come up with something, Marcel, you know what? I was gonna say that, but he didn't say it.
that. That was a good one.
I thought about it.
I thought of that one. That was a good one.
And so there was two things, guys, that I would have went here, and one is that I would have said I would show another horrific fire burning, or I would have gone back to the house to show the parents kind of yelling and say, you can't do this. The sheriff's son, what are you thinking? You are not to see him again. We're struggling at all this, but we'll stick with the fire, and we'll say that later. So what we're gonna do is
I ain't gonna hold you. Just thinking about some stuff as well. I think this probably would have been a good time to jump back to that 2 week flashback.
Oh yeah, the one from that. Whose mine's the Earl's?
Talking about mine
I think when they was at the diner.
or Marcel.
Yeah, that probably would have been a good time to jump back.
now you're thinking narratively.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking narratively. Marcel, I actually have yours here. That's where we're going to end the night.
So Marcel, in that scene, you talked about his parents. And
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I just wanted to establish that he knew he at least ran into him at some point. But we have to cut out the fire because we said the fire started at
Yep, I got you.
Check out that part. But I can work on it
Hang tight, kiddo. Hang tight. No, it's not yours. No more, player.
I mean, yeah.
Don't try to work on it now.
Let's see.
Perfect. Guys, if that wasn't a perfect suggestion, I wouldn't put that it was. That's where we... no, we don't want it like that. That's where we are now. And what we're going to say when we establish that is we're going to go up here I mean,
That would be a caption. I knew it. That was smart.
Yeah.
Mm, switch it to morning. I mean, not morning, like 1:30 in the morning.
it doesn't
When
matter.
doesn't matter. Okay.
Now, I don't know why he would be saying the prayer and the food's not there yet.
Yeah, I guess that makes more sense.
So we're going to copy that.
He can be interrupted in the middle of his prayer, and then they end up walking behind him in the middle of his
Well,
prayer.
he wouldn't start praying. Typically, you don't pray until you got your food.
Well,
So
that's what
right,
I'm saying. When they walk in, he gets his food first. He says his prayers, and then they come in, messing up his concentration or something like that. You know. Mm,
Y'all ever seen that movie, Meet the Robinsons?
mm-hmm.
That's why I think of Isaac, bro. I think
I
that's like
never
when
seen
I,
that movie. Meet the Robinsons. Sounds
yeah,
familiar.
man, bro. I got kids, so I be watching. I be having to sit here and watch with. So
Boy,
interesting.
Earl. Nah, Earl, you be watching it without him. Don't be lying.
Oh no, I ain't see that movie.
I never heard of that movie.
All right, guys. So that is where we're going to stop for the night.
Okay.
Let's save that. Kind of talk about your assignment. All right. Stop the share. Stop the share. Guys, if you have stayed with us the entire time we were on this live, I appreciate you. Right now, what I want you to go ahead and do is if you have been here tonight and you're like, who is this guy? Why should I be listening to him outside of his ideas being absolutely epic? Go ahead to godhoodcomics.com. Follow us on Instagram, X, and go take a look at all of our comics. Now, all of our books are only available right now digitally. we will launch our new website next month, and we will have physical prints in hand. What I want you to do is go and get the Antagonist Volume 1 trade paperback. That is 7 issues to get caught up with the Antagonist series. If you don't want the first 7 issues right off the bat, then go ahead and hit shop. Head on over, take a look at issue 1, and download that. Guys, you got to forget about all this because we are building a new website, all right? So go ahead and go to shops. And now again, guys, if you have your own comic book already done and you're looking for a publisher, we are always taking concepts and ideas. So go to our submissions page, talk about everything that you need to know about submitting your comic book, and then where to send it. All right. Do that right now. Follow us. Go check out our stuff. Guys, we appreciate you being here. Sorry for the camera quality. It will get better. But thank you so much, guys, for being here right now. Make sure you're following us on all platforms. Shout out to my boys, man. You guys did an amazing job. I know how hard it is to sit here and write a script and then present it in front of hundreds of people. So congratulations. I hope that you guys understand my criticism is coming from a place of authenticity, and that I just want you guys to grow better as writers, and I want you guys to really, really understand the difference between narrative and what makes sense and what doesn't. Excellent job tonight, guys. We appreciate all of you guys. Can't believe we have 272 people in here. Come back, check us out next week. I hope that when you get off, you're liking, you're sharing, you're retweeting the live, and giving us a shout out. Matter of fact, if you're on here, once we end, go ahead to X or wherever you're viewing us and let the people know you enjoyed the live and why you enjoyed the live. And that's everybody in the class as well. Get off. Tell us why you enjoyed the live, how great it was, how horrible it was, how much you don't like Marcel, how much you hate Earl, and how much you just thought Cardi was a disaster. We want to know it all right? Much love. We appreciate you. We thank you. My boy, stay on for just a second, and we will see you next time. Boys, throw up the peace sign.
Deuces, y'all be safe.
We out. Look at Charleston. We out.